Hey everyone, it's Mike from the Head, the Tail, the Whole Damn Thing podcast. And it's March, and that means it's time for the Bracket Bloodbath. It's what we did last year with slashers. This year, it's Final Girls. You want to see Jay from It Follows take out Ginny from Friday the 13th Part 2? How about Nancy Thompson from Nightmare on Elm Street? What's she going to do with Jess Bradford from Black Christmas? Is Sarah Connor going to beat Naru from Prey? Only your votes can tell us. Look for us on all the socials and vote now, because voting is happening all month long. Now, on with the show.
The head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
Welcome once again to the Head, the Tail, the Whole Damn Thing with your industry professionals Mike D. McCarty and James Knight. Tonight's episode is Cujo and Good Boy. You know, Cujo, interesting book when it came out many moons ago, and I read it as a youth, and I thought it was very interesting how you could go inside the mind of the dog. I don't think they do that in the film. That would be weird, but I never saw it. And then as far as Good Boy, well, I'll let the boys explain that. Take it away, fellas.
Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me.
That's right. Welcome.
That was little 3-dog night for the dog days.
Is that what we are? Are we a 3-dog night tonight?
I think it's only a 2-dog night, actually.
I think they're both good dogs.
Well, we will find out, won't we? Welcome to the Head, the Tail, the Whole Damn Thing, where we take a classic horror movie and we pair it with a new release that we feel is a good double feature. And these are the dog days. These are not the dog days of summer. These are the dog days of winter, which I don't think that's an actual thing, but tonight it is.
Yeah.
As we pair up 1983's Cujo with 2025's
Yep.
Good Boy.
That's right.
Not
you said
to
that
be
like you weren't
confused-
sure if it was a good boy or not. It's a good boy.
Well, because there's another Good Boy movie out there, too, which came out in like 2020.
Yeah. This is different. This is much different.
That's not the movie we're doing.
No.
Will they be good dogs, though? That's the question. I mean, some people think all dogs are good dogs.
I mean, all dogs are good dogs as far as I'm concerned. You know me and dogs. I got 3 of them. In this first movie, I watched with my dogs.
Aww.
Especially my 200-pound dog. I thought, oh, this could be fun.
Yeah? What did
He
they
fell
think?
asleep.
Oh, boring, huh?
He didn't give a shit.
Yeah. There's a case to be made.
I thought,
Actually.
well, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. He could get a little like, whoa, what's that? And no, he just slept on the floor.
What does man taste like?
Man flesh.
Well, it's funny that you watch this movie with your dogs, as if you wanted your dog's opinion, because,
I did.
you know, as we are looking at these movies, and we're looking at Cujo, I did a little research on Cujo, as I'm sure you did, and because it is a Stephen King book.
Oh, did you go to the dark web?
Of course, SKDW, the Stephen King Darkweb, because you never know what you're going to find there, right? And
We got to give people a link to the Stephen King dark web.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if the general public is ready for that, because there's a lot of crazy stuff on there.
Yeah.
You know, you never know where you're going to end up, right? When you go on the Stephen King dark web. And so I was looking for things for Cujo, and it led me to some really unusual places that I did not expect.
Okay.
Yeah. In this case, strangely enough, to 1988's Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you remember when that movie came out? Huge.
Sure.
All the cartoon characters from everywhere all getting together to make a movie. It was
I
a
don't
huge
see the
deal.
correlation, but okay.
Yeah, well, I didn't either, except there's a lot of behind-the-scenes footage of that just because the effects in that movie and everything and how it was made. And apparently there was like some recording going on in a holding area before one of the scenes, and they're actually talking about Cujo. These are some of the characters involved with Who Framed Roger Rabbit who actually have a discussion about Cujo, and I thought, holy crap, this is amazing.
Okay.
So I managed to download the tape from the Stephen King Darkweb. And,
Excellent.
It's got a little grain behind it. I think the quality's pretty good, though. Tell me if you can hear this.
Okay.
Oh, hiya, Droop.
Hello, fellas.
Done with your big scene?
No, they're still in setup, so I've got time. Did you guys see that there were sausages at Crafty? I saw them this morning, but I just walked by and the bowl was empty.
I don't know. Well, I think Scooby's had the munchies again.
Figures. Fucking pothead. Did you guys happen to catch Cujo on TV last night?
Oh, you know, I've never seen that one. Stephen King gives me the willies.
Oh, you've gotta check it out. Rabies or not, it's crucial canine cinema.
Well, gosh, Troop, ever since Disney made Old Yeller, I'm a little bit wary of movies where they shoot the dog.
Understandable. This has got some great performances in it, though. Dee Wallace is fantastic, as usual. Although I prefer her in The Howling, especially after she turned into that hot Pomeranian werewolf.
Rexy.
Absolutely. When The Howling ended, I almost had to change my name from Droopy to Stiffy. Seriously, though, she's great. But that little Danny Pintaro plays her son and steals the movie. Trapped in the car as Cujo attacks. It's quite a scene.
Yeah, who directed that movie?
Lewis Teague.
Alligator?
Yes, that's right, the director of Alligator. He's helped by Jan de Bont behind the camera.
So it's a good movie?
Well, the scenes in the car are intense, but overall, I'm not sure there's enough meat on the bone for me.
Oh, well, gosh, you could always give the extra bone to Dee Wallace.
Oh, shit. You're a fucking pig, G-Man. But that's why I love you.
Excuse me, Mr. Droop. They're ready for you now. And Crafty wanted me to tell you they've got more sausages in the bowl.
Oh, that's my cue. Check you later, my dogs.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. So that was Scooby and Droopy
And Goofy. Having a conversation about Cujo, of all things.
Dogs whose name end in Y.
Yeah, a lot of oohs in there.
That's right.
Ooby, oofy, oopy.
It didn't sound like Droopy was a big fan of Cujo.
Yeah, I know. He said maybe not enough meat on the bone. I mean,
Yeah.
those scenes in the car are intense. And it'd been a while since I had revisited Cujo. And really, that was kind of all I remembered from this movie.
Sure.
Watching it again, I understand why. I mean, it takes a while to get there, but those scenes are great. And Dee Wallace, fantastic.
Yeah.
Annie Pintaro, 6 years old, that kid.
First movie.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I saw Dee Wallace talking about him, and she said that he was the most talented child actor she'd ever worked with, which is crazy because she worked with Henry Thomas and Drew Barrymore on
Oh, shit,
E.T.
that's right. Yeah, I forget that. I forgot that for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's
That's
worked
true.
with kids a lot, but it's hard to argue with her. He is off the charts.
Yeah,
like when
he's
that
great.
dog is attacking, he's screaming and crying, and it just seems real. It seems like a real terrified 6-year-old.
Those are some intense scenes. The whole car stuff is really
yeah.
great. And I'll tell you, I hadn't read the book since I was probably 14 or 15. And I was like, I've got time before we do the next recording. The audiobook is only like 14 hours. So I listened to it back and forth on my way to work to refresh my
14
mind.
The book, it's 14 hours?
Yeah.
I have not read this book. I figured this would be a short book, though.
For Stephen King, it is a short book because most of his books are probably 20 hours, 24 hours, 25 hours, 30, whatever.
Okay.
So it is a short book, but it's really kind of good. And I know what you're probably leaning towards is maybe you feel the movie is boring or it's sort of as slow to get into it until you get to the car
slow to
stuff.
get into it.
Yeah. But it's also note for note singing from the book. It's hitting all those elements that are in the book that are described in, of course, a lot more detail.
Sure. Like there's characters in this movie too that I identified as like, oh, that's the typical Stephen King dickhead right there.
Oh,
like
yes.
the guy at the farm, the guy who mechanic at the farm. Yeah. That guy, I can almost see the Stephen King's backstory on what a piece of shit that dude is.
Yeah. That dude manhandles his wife. He's a dick to his kid.
Yeah.
He's obviously got, a thumbprint of grease on his hat. And actually on his cheek, too, for part of the movie. I love when Hollywood makeup artists go, he's a mechanic, right? Let me smear grease on his face. How many times have you been to a garage or a car shop and actually seen a mechanic walking around with a big smear of grease on his face? I'll take never for 200, Alex.
Yeah, I think at one point, too, his wife is like, I won the lottery. And instantly he starts plotting, like, what he's going to do with all the money his wife won. Like, I'm going to spend it on beer, babes, and baseball or some shit like that.
Essentially, that is what he's going to do. Yeah.
But is part of the book through the dog's point of view?
Very little. Some of it is through the dog's point of view. It refers to like, the woman, the boy, the man as his people.
Okay.
This is also a book that Stephen King, I don't think, remembers writing.
Yes, I had read that.
It was one of those dark times. I think he had done Firestarter and The Dead Zone. He was on a roll. He was like, more cocaine, let's
summertime,
go.
But a blizzard of cocaine inside the house in Maine.
Suddenly Cujo was finished, and then he's on to another book. And honestly, it isn't a bad book. I went into it expecting, this book's going to stink. And I was like, no, it's a good tale about a family in peril from many different levels, and two different families in peril. There's one that's a little bit more upper middle class, which of course is the Trentons, and then there's the Cambers, which are lower middle class. The wife is afraid. She's a stay-at-home mom, essentially just plucking a chicken, for dinner. And the dad is a grease monkey asshole. And the boy is just kind of turning into his father, which the mother is really upset about throughout the book. She wants to try and get the boy away from him. And then, of course, Donna Trenton has an affair with the guy in town because
the local stud.
The local
she
stud.
refers to him in the movie. Here I am just fooling around with the local stud. No offense.
Yeah.
None taken, baby.
That was her actual husband, of course.
Yeah, Christopher Stone. That pairing up, again, they were in The Howling together as well.
They were in The Howling together, absolutely, yeah.
More dog movies.
Yeah, they're getting bit again. Yeah, so there's a lot more of that in the book, too. In fact, she turns him down in the very beginning, and then he gets angry because they had been doing stuff for quite a long time at that point.
Yeah. It's all interesting. It's well directed. It's certainly well acted.
I think it's very well directed.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama, but the story itself, like, I heard Lewis Teague talking about it and saying, like, this is a movie about the perils and the follies of your life and what happens when you're actually confronted with something lethal that could actually take you out, how that changes your focus and makes you realize what's really important. I suppose I understand that on a fundamental level, but it doesn't really add that much to this film for me. I'm not so invested in it that when I get to the car scene, I feel those stakes are heightened. I care about these characters, certainly. I don't want to see the mom and the little boy die. But
of course not.
I don't know that all that stuff that we went through in the beginning necessarily pays dividends by the time we get to the end. Here's a question I have about the book, though. Because right at the beginning of this movie, After you get that shot of the St. Bernard frolicking through the meadow and chasing after the rabbit and chases the rabbit down the hole, and then poor Cujo gets bit on the nose by a rabid bat, right?
Yeah.
This is what's going to make him break bad eventually. Right after that scene, you get the scene of Danny Pintaro in his bedroom. Mm-hmm. And he's
I love this
scared.
fucking scene. This scene is fucking great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Because I remember doing this as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
He's looking at the closet. He's scared that there's monsters in the closet.
Yeah.
And he's got to get to bed. He's got to turn out the light, and he's afraid of the monsters are going to grab him from under the bed. So he tries to like flip out the light and run to his bed as fast as possible, almost trying to beat the room getting dark so he can leap in his bed. It's actually a great camera shot. The effect in here
this was Jan de Bont
really neat.
fucking really singing, you know?
And Jan de Bont does a great job in this movie. There's a number of camera shots in this movie. You're like, wow, that's really clever. How did you do that? And in this scene, too, because I'd heard Lewis Teague talking about, like, he had also experienced this as a kid. They built 2 sets for that bedroom, you know?
Yeah. One was elongated, so they could do that whole dolly zoom and make the room just really stretch to where it's
so when the kid flipped
long.
the light switch off, it looked like he had that much farther to go before he could jump in his bed. And he shot it in slow motion at that moment, too, so it just really stretches that out. And it's great. But here's the question that I had is, how much focus does Stephen King give to the kids' fears and that aspect in the book? Because I felt like if they had made the kids' fears a little bit scarier, like legitimately scarier in the beginning of this movie, they might have been able to tie that into when the dog finally attacks 43 minutes later, and it would have a little bit more weight.
It's a while
to
in the
it.
book, too.
Oh, it's too long, I feel. And despite the fact that all these actors are doing great and the story is engaging, it's too long before we get to that. So on my second viewing, I thought, man, you know, the kid says, like, I'm afraid of the monster, and it's in my closet, and it has yellow eyes, and he goes at how it's breathing. And I thought, wow, if somehow they could have brought that into the attack on the car, you know, where the kids saw the monster sort of manifested in Cujo. Wow, that would have been cool. But does Stephen King do anything like that in the book?
So the way the book opens up, there is a monster in Tad's closet that Tad sees.
Oh, okay.
And the book mentions it about 5-6 times. This book, of course, taking place in Castle Rock, is not that long after the events of The Dead Zone, where Frank Dodd was a serial killer that was a cop. And you get the feeling that the spirit of Frank Dodd is in the kid's closet. So there's this monster in the closet, and they're sort of giving you the idea that it might be Frank Dodd. And later they're giving you the idea that Frank Dodd has possessed the dog. So, like, the evil of Frank Dodd in Castle Rock is permeating things.
Is the dog not rabid then? The dog is rabid.
The dog is rabid, but in one of the scenes that were in Barbara's original script, there are bats hovering around Frank Dodd's grave. And one of them flies off to the cave where it goes and it ends up biting the dog on the nose. So they're sort of giving you the idea that the spirit of Frank Dodd has somehow inhabited the dog and made it rabid as he's making other things in the town go bad. It's a little weak. It's a little odd. And they don't do a lot of it in the book. They do just a little bit of it in the book. And there's more of that in the first script by Barbara Turner. And Peter Medak, who was the first director, was leaning into those ideas as how to open the movie. And
that's the guy who directed The Changeling, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the producer, I forget his name at the moment, I think they had a difference of opinion. And he said, you know what, I don't want it to be that, I want it to be this. They ended up firing him and then hiring Lewis Teague. They called Lewis Teague because, and we mentioned this in the Alligator episode, Stephen King loves the movie Alligator, and he actually suggested Lewis Teague as the original director, and they went with Peter.
I love how Stephen King, high as fuck on cocaine, doesn't remember writing Cujo, but he does remember seeing Alligator.
I mean, come on.
It.
We all remember seeing Alligator and loving it. So I think we can all relate with Stephen King on that one. High or not. So they went back with his original choice of let's get Lewis Teague to direct it. They called Lewis.
Okay.
And they were like, you need to come out here because we've already begun shooting. They had already shot like 2 days. And he was like, you got to give me a little bit of time. And the producer was like, you have 1 day. And he was like, give me 2. He's like, okay, fine. He came out, had 2 days to prep, and then immediately got right into shooting.
Wow. Holy
And
shit.
they started to make those changes and those shifts and tweaks on the script and losing the whole Frank Dodd stuff and just leaning into the fact that it's a rabbit animal and going with that.
I don't think it necessarily needs to have supernatural elements into it. It
No,
could just be
neither do
like
I.
a young kid's fears, like
Sure.
like it plays out in the movie.
Yeah.
I just wish that they had focused a little bit more on that, like almost literally seeing what the kid sees or bridging it until it gets to the dog. Because it's a long time, man.
Yeah.
It's a long time in this movie where you're just watching a family drama unfold where a woman is cheating on her husband.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that her home life seems to be great in many, many, many ways. you know?
Yeah. And in the book, she gives some sort of long speech about how she didn't want to become one of those mothers that goes to the PTA. She was afraid of losing her identity, afraid of losing her sexuality and all of that. But the kid, obviously, he's scared enough of the closet and of monsters, I mean, he's 6 years old, that the father, Vic, has created the monster words. Now, they get into the monster words a little bit in the movie, but a lot more in the book. The kid needs the monster words to be read to him every night when Vic is going away on the business trip.
A little ritual that his father
Yeah,
does to
yeah.
banish the demons. and
The kid is
darkness,
terrified that his dad's leaving because no one will be able to read the monster words because he can't read them himself. Even though he has them memorized and he looks at the page and just sort of mouths them, but he can't quite read them. It's definitely leans a lot more into the kid's fears and all that. So to answer your question, I guess I really took a long time to answer your question. But let me tell you something about Jan de Bont. Jan de Bont, this is not the first time he'd worked with animals. In fact, he had just come off of a shoot where he'd worked with animals. Do you know what that was?
No, I don't. What was it?
It was Tippi Hedren's Roar.
Oh,
And
wow.
if you've ever heard the
Isn't
story...
that the one where doesn't she get mauled or somebody get mauled by a lion in that movie?
Jan de Bont got mauled by a lion in that fucking movie.
Did. Oh, wow.
Yeah. He got scalped by a lion.
What?
Wow.
No.
That's right, Mark Wahlberg.
Yikes.
He had over 200 stitches to put his scalp back on.
Oh.
When that incident happened.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, if you guys don't know Roar, look it up. You'll see a crazy trailer. It's Tippi Hedren has like a lion preserve, and they made a movie in like 1980.
Can you buy like Jan de
81 or
Bont's
82?
scalp in the gift shop? Do they have like fake Jan de Bont?
It's just little
caps
pieces
you
of like
can-
beef jerky. You can get Jan de
It's like
Bont jerky.
it's like a beanie you can put on your head. Only it's made to look like Jan de Bont's scalp.
Exactly. How great would that be? But yeah, it's a documentary about a lion preserve, and they're very hands-on with the lions, and the lions would fucking get carried away sometimes.
I guess
and
the lions
fuck
are very
people up.
hands-on with them too.
That's right.
Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, he was kind of fresh off of that movie and coming into this movie.
Just got a bunch of stitches in his fucking
Yeah,
forehead.
probably looked like
filming
Frankenstein,
Cujo.
right? But anyway, Jan de Bont. Nearly scalped. That's a Hollywood be careful with a lion minute.
Well, he does do some great camera work in this.
He
and
does.
That shot we were just talking about is great when it tracks Danny Pintaro running into bed, and then it
flips upside down.
Flips
Yeah.
upside down, so it looks like Danny Pintaro sort of jumps into space. There's a
Yeah.
couple of little camera tricks that he does. There's another one later in the movie when they're trapped in the Pinto.
In the car,
that
yeah.
The camera does like a 360 spin on them.
Yeah.
Where they had to cut a hole in the roof of the Pinto so that they could sort of telescope the lens around in that tight circle so that they could keep the confines of that Pinto to scale. You know, they wanted to make it seem as claustrophobic as possible.
Very cool.
And he and Lewis Teague made a really good pair in this movie.
They did.
Despite the misgivings I have about the story, I can't argue with the craftsmanship behind it.
I still think it's a very well put together movie, soup to nuts, because of the way it follows the book, the character development. Yeah, it's a slow build before you get to the dog stuff, but I also really like how they handled the dog stuff too. Like, I haven't seen this since way back when. And because I'm such a dog lover, anytime I think about watching Cujo, I'm like, nah, I don't really want to watch a good dog become a bad dog and then get killed. That just seems kind of sad. But the way they handle it, they actually do a really, really good job. And I never got that feeling of being upset about the dog. You know, a little
they
bit,
knew
but
it.
Not much.
They knew it. I heard Lewis Teague talking about it, and he said, you know, people can sit there and they can watch an actor or somebody get murdered or fall down the stairs, and they just keep eating their popcorn like, who cares? But anytime you do something to an animal, people tend to get upset really quick. And he knew that he really had to be careful when it came to making that dog seem as big a threat as it could. And even in the point of the movie where Dee Wallace will take the offensive on the dog, he was like, I couldn't show her hitting the actual dog.
Yeah.
We couldn't do a scene where the baseball bat actually made contact with the animal, even though it had been terrifying up to that point. He was like, can't do it. Couldn't do it because people would have gotten upset.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think the way they shot it is great because, you know, it's dog POV. She's swinging at the camera. And then there's like the camera almost takes a hit. And then they show the dog getting up off the ground like it got hit. So it's all sound effects. It's well played.
Yeah. No, they used what? Like
6 different dogs.
Well, I heard 5, I heard 6, 7, and 13 at one point. But they also used a guy in a dog costume, like a St. Bernard head, like a stuntman.
Yep.
And yeah, the way they stitched together some of the scenes, you know. I'd heard once that they took the doors out of the Pinto, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a
charging
cannibalized
towards
Pinto.
it. The dog charges towards it so that the dog could jump through the door and to the other side, but they would cut just before then. And then they did a shot of the stunt man in a dog head costume slamming into the side of it, of the door, bam! Yeah. And then cut to the dog on the ground getting up, recovering as if he just slammed into the door. Really clever. Yeah. Really well done. They handled that stuff.
Gary Morgan
really
is a stunt man that wore the suit. A lot of the scenes where people are wrestling with Cujo, there are tiny little clips, and it's edited very, very well.
It is.
Because they use a ton. It's probably 90% real dog in the movie, and little bits of dog puppet head and little bits of Gary Morgan in the dog suit that Kathy Clark built.
Part dog, part puppet, all Cujo.
Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah, we've jumped around a little bit, but as we said, right, this is a story about a upper middle class family. The dad is an ad executive. Mm-hmm. They have a nice house in Castle Rock, Maine, although it's actually shot in Mendocino, where I think they also shot part of The Howling. Didn't they shoot that there? Mm-hmm. So Dee Wallace and Christopher Stone essentially getting a summer house in Mendocino shooting dog movies. Here.
Exactly.
The mom, of course, Dee Wallace, Danny Pintaro, their kid, and then Daniel Hugh Kelly plays the dad, Vic Trenton. Daniel Hugh Kelly.
Mark Skid McCormick?
Yes, TV's right. Hardcastle and McCormick.
That's right.
What a show that was, where the judge was like, I'm retiring, but as my last case, I condemn you to be my ward, and together we'll fight crime.
That's kind of fantastic.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure a violation of the 8th Amendment of the Constitution. Oh, fuck it, I'm retiring anyway.
Schmaith Amendment.
Yeah, Schmonstitution. But yes, he's great. He's really good with the boy, you know, with the monster words and all that, and sort of puts into relief the struggle that Dee Wallace's character is having as she's having the affair with the handyman, Steve. Played by Christopher Stone, her real husband. Handyman turns handsy man a couple times in here.
That's right.
As
he's also a tennis pro in the book.
Oh, well, in the movie, Dad, Vic Trenton, kicks his ass at tennis.
I thought that was odd. I was like, well, that's different.
And the dad, like I said, is an ad exec, and they have a big campaign running for cereal for a cereal brand that the kid's all excited when the handyman comes over. He's like, look, there's the professor.
Yeah.
Like, advertising on TV, the marketing guy on TV. My dad made that. He's like, oh, your dad made that. Yeah, he makes all of them. He makes Twinkles and Cocoa Bears and Brand 16 and Red Raspberry Zingers and Fruit Fists and Sugar Slam and Dingleberry Crisp and Honey Split Crunch and Vanilla Nut Bust and Laxy Grams and Brand Handle and Chocolate Starfish Crunch. Like, just a whole list of great cereals.
That Chocolate Starfish Crunch sounds pretty good.
Well, it's part of a complete balanced breakfast. The professor, who is the mascot of the cereal brand, and he takes a bite and he's like, nothing wrong here.
Yep.
Well, later on in the movie, we will cut to Channel Team Action News, where they talk about how kids who are eating the cereal are experiencing hemorrhaging from the inside.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's just the red dye, and they think it's hemorrhaging, but there's nothing wrong here.
But didn't you think it was odd that the marketing team was falling under so much pressure for this? They're like, what have we done? We're going to lose the account. Oh, we're terrible. And I'm like, no. This is not your problem, guys.
Yeah.
You didn't create the cereal.
Exactly.
You just sold it.
In the book, it's not all of the lot of cereal. It's one lot that got too much dye. And some kids threw up, and some kids had diarrhea. And it looked like they were throwing up blood and shitting blood, and it caused a scare across the country. And then Channel Team Action News leaned into, nope, nothing wrong here. Well, there is something wrong here, because that was the ad slogan, was
tagline
turned against them. Yeah.
Every ad exec's worst nightmare.
That's why Dad's got to go away for 10 days to sort that out.
Yeah, but he also is getting wise to his wife's affair, too.
Yeah.
He's driving around one day, sees his wife come out of Steve's apartment, and Steve's confronting her in his pajama bottoms and everything.
Yeah.
It's like really quick. He whips his Jaguar around. Did I just see my wife with the handsy man?
Yeah, not wearing a shirt?
Yeah, nope.
Nope,
but his
nothing wrong here.
Are up. But Dad's Jaguar is giving him trouble.
Yeah.
And he tries to take it to a mechanic who kind of brushes him off. And here's where we get the postman. He tells him, you got to take it to old Joe Chambers' house.
Oh, yeah. He knows how to work on a Jaguar.
That's right. It's that farm out past the old Micmac burial ground.
It's way far out there, I'll tell you.
So Dad and the whole family, they drive that Jaguar on this dirt country road. I was like, God, no. That's not what you want.
Rock dings in the paint, and dust inside the cab. Yeah. Maybe put the top up, jackass.
Yeah. No, not at all. Top down, all the way out in the country, out on the farm. And this is the farm that Cujo is at. And that he'd been frolicking around earlier, chasing the bunny down the meadow.
Still frolicking.
Yeah, Cujo hasn't broke bad yet.
No.
But he's got a little bite on his nose. And
it looks like somebody smashed
a
strawberry on it.
It does. It really does. This is when the mom first catches sight of the dog, and the little boy, Tad, is there. And she's like, Tad, stay away, stay away. And the farm boy is like, don't worry about Cujo. He loves kids. And little Danny Pentaro kneels down like, good Cujo. And Cujo's head is like 3 times the size of his head.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a great little visual there.
Literally, Cujo is the size of my dog Bear.
I think your dog is bigger than Cujo, isn't he? He's got to be.
He's described as 200 pounds in the book, and Bear is 200 pounds. So,
okay.
Or actually, he was 197. If he goes up a couple pounds, we're going to put him in the heavyweight bouts. Right now, he's a light heavy.
But they essentially create a rapport with the mechanic here. Joe Cambers, I think is his name. I might have said Chambers earlier, but Cambers.
Joe Camba.
If you're doing it in the Maina accent.
Oh, yeah. Joe Camba.
And he's going to fix up the Jag. And then later on, the family's Pinto will start having problems.
Mm-hmm.
Not the left turn signal is on, gets rear-ended, and it explodes in a ball of flame problems.
That was a popular problem in the 80s.
With the Ford Pinto specifically.
I know. I remember.
But they're going to have to take that Pinto to the very same farm later on. And Dad has already he's trying to do damage control with the company, but he also just needs to take some time away from his wife to get his mind straight because she has confessed to him that she's having the affair. And
she called it off.
He's like, okay, well, I'm leaving. And she's like, well, what about the Pinto? And he's like, you can take it to the Cambers farm.
Yeah.
And really, that's just a bad situation. I know the car can hardly run.
Yeah.
But you just take it way out in the
Drive
country.
it all the way out.
While I'm nowhere around, make sure you take our son with you. Don't get a babysitter or anything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's just asking for her to be stranded, and that is essentially what happens.
I'll be honest, as I was reading the book, I kept thinking the mom was the real villain because she does some bonehead shit. She calls Joe Camber's place like 4 or 5 times. Nobody answers. And then she's like, well, he doesn't have a phone out in the garage. And they always say that, he's usually out in the garage. Okay, come on, Tad. We're going to go on a trip.
We're going on an adventure.
Yeah.
And at this time, too, the reason why no one's picking up the phone is because Cujo has broke bad. Now, the farm boy and his mom, they've gone out to her sister's place, and you do get the feeling like she's leaving with no intention of ever coming back to the house.
She does intend to come back to the house, but she's trying to break the hold that her husband has on her son. She wants him to see another way of life. She wants her son to see how her sister lives.
In the movie, I get the feeling she's not coming back because she packs her bags and she takes the family album with the baby pictures in it and she puts it in the suitcase. And that to me said, like, I don't ever intend on coming back to this place. She's taking the most precious things with her. Her son and the memories that you can't get back.
Well, she has just won the lotto.
She has.
$5,000.
And he's going to spend it on booze, broads, and baseball with his good friend Gary, the world's most slovenly man.
Yeah. Gary in the book is always like, I don't give a shit.
Well, Gary is the first one to feel the wrath of Cujo.
Yeah, he is.
Because Cujo now is turned into a roomy, slobbering mess and goes to Gary's junkyard of a house.
Gary lives like the Parks guy from that fucking first movie we ever reviewed. What was the name of that one?
In a Violent Nature?
In a Violent Nature. Yeah, that house with the dirty curtains.
With the drapes
in the sink.
The curtains in the sink. Oh, God.
Yeah. And the cans everywhere and the
oh my God.
plates of fucking drying food. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
great.
how Gary lives.
Pretty great moment, too. Cujo attacks him. God, Cujo, no! And he gets into the house and he locks his door and he's like, I'm a son of a bitch, I'm gonna get that dog. And he takes the rifle off the wall and he's like, oh, I'm gonna load it. And then Cujo comes busting through the screen door.
Ripping through that fucking door.
Dog tackle. Oh, Cujo! Tears his throat out.
Yeah.
And there's a great shot where the body's kind of slumped past the corner. You see the legs sticking out. You see Cujo's body standing over it, and you just see that tail wagging just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that was a problem in this movie, right?
Yeah. Tying the tails to the dog legs. I think Jason McAvoy on the Discord brought that up when we said we were going to do this movie. Yeah.
Yes. I'd kind of forgotten about it until I saw it in the movie.
Yeah.
The dog's tail wagging. And then I did watch some behind-the-scenes stuff of this, of course, and they mentioned having to tie the dog's tails.
Yeah.
The St. Bernards were all good boys.
They were all good boys. And Carl Lewis Miller, who trained all the dogs, basically he trained these dogs to play. So every time they're wrestling with something or someone, they're playing. They're not trying to be vicious or trying to be mean.
Not at all.
They're looking at a treat. They're looking at a toy, a squeaky toy. They're coming towards a clacker. Or they're jumping on someone to hug them because they're being a good boy.
And they had to put all that stuff, all that goop all over them. And a lot of times to make them froth at the mouth, it was just egg whites.
Yeah.
And they always had to shoot it really quickly because the dogs were like...
Which would lick it up. Yeah, exactly. So they got froth, egg white around the mouth. And you see the yellow stuff, that's egg yolk on their face, too.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
these
so
dogs
gross.
are covered in eggs.
It's
Oh my God.
so gross. That like roomy looking yellow fluid around their eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really, really gross.
It is disturbing. They do a great job making this dog look terrifying
Yeah.
in
they
a
do.
nice slow build, you know. And another interesting anecdote is a big part of the movie is the fact that they're trapped in the car for 3 days, right?
Yeah.
And it's the middle of summer. It's 105 degrees. They have no air conditioning because the battery's dead on the car. They can't roll the windows more than a crack because the dog will come in or break the window or whatever. So they're being dehydrated, they're sweating. But when they shot this, it was fucking 40 degrees outside. They were freezing. They were hardly wearing any clothes because they're supposed to look like they're sweating.
Unseasonably cold in Mendocino. Or wherever they were. Northern
nuts.
California.
Almost to the point where they could see their breath, but it wasn't quite that cold. But yeah, again, actors having to act.
Dee Wallace finally convinced them to put some heat lamps and start the heater sometimes in the car. Because Danny Pintaro was like not wearing a shirt.
He's
just
fucking
like wearing a
six.
pair of shorts, and she's just in a tank top. Yeah, and she said, you know, to make them look like they were sweaty, of course, they put glycerin all over them, but they're at a farm, so there's fucking flies everywhere.
Yeah.
We're just like, sugar, like constantly buzzing around their face. Like,
This being Danny Pintaro's first show, he doesn't even know who's the boss yet.
No, Jonathan, Mona, Angela, Samantha.
That's right, fucking Tony Danza, bitch. That's who the boss is.
Danza. Yeah, he loved it, though. I saw him talking about it. He said just
he's
as
a big
kid,
fan.
He was just fascinated with how all this stuff was working and the dogs. And despite all that, gives a tremendous performance. Like the most believable, scared out of my mind performance.
I do have to agree with Dee. I feel like this is one of the best little kid actors I've seen in a movie. Especially when he's crawled into the back of the hatchback, when Cujo is on top of Mom in the front seat, and he's just screaming and crying. I'm
terrible.
like, holy shit.
It's so terrible.
How
it's
did they
to
get him
watch.
to do that?
It's hard to watch.
It is. Yeah.
So Cujo kills Gary, and it's not too much long after that when the dad, Joe Camba, comes up looking for him, Gary, and finds his friend with his throat ripped out. And then, oh, Cujo, oh my God, you've gone rabid. And Cujo takes him out, and I am sure in the book this is fucking satisfying.
It is.
Because he is classic Stephen King dickhead getting his due here. I mean, that's one of Stephen King's great strengths as a writer, I think, is he writes a good backstory and he makes you hate the villains and hate the dickheads.
He's really
so
good
bad.
at characters. Really good at characters.
You cannot wait to see them get their due. And, you know, this is a rabid monster at this point, but must
and in
be
the
great.
movie, it's off screen. You don't see it. They did shoot a death scene for him. They just didn't use it. And I'm not exactly sure why they cut it out. Maybe it just didn't edit into the film well, but it didn't quite work, so they didn't end up using it. But in the book, he gets sicked in the balls.
Oh, like Chopper and Stand By Me, huh?
That's right. Chopper sick balls. Yeah.
Nice.
That's exactly what Cujo does. Bites him right in the fucking... What were those cereal names?
Vanilla Nut Bust.
Got him right in the vanilla nut bust.
Oh, so when Mom and Tad roll up to the farm, no one's there, of course.
Yeah.
No one has answered the phone. Everybody's dead. Mom and the kid are gone.
Everybody's dead.
She opens the door to look around, or does... I think they're just...
She opens the door, and she's trying to get Tad out of the car. But his seatbelt is stuck.
Oh, that's
and
right.
And there's Yondabont sneaky dog cam coming along the side of the car.
That's right.
And you think, this is Cujo, this is Cujo, this is Cujo. And it sneaks up on her. And then the camera comes around a little bit. No attack happens. And then all of a sudden, boom, dog scare. Right
from
through the window on the other side.
Window.
Fucking
Opposite
great.
Window. Great.
Fucking
it is great.
Yeah.
They pull off a couple really well executed jump scares in this movie.
Yeah, they do.
And yeah, this is definitely one of them. They freak out. Holy shit, she's got to roll up the window as that dog's giant fucking head is coming through.
Yeah. And you're thinking,
Screaming.
how is that dog not busting that window?
Yeah.
Because that dog's legitimately trying to get his head in the car.
Yes.
Because there's a treat in there.
treat,
there's a sausage
toy.
in there or a fucking tennis
a toy
ball.
rat. A toy rat, I think, is what he wanted to play with.
And
Jesus.
Mo, I think, was the dog they used the most for a lot of the stuff. Mo was like
That was the hero dog.
The big hero dog, yeah. They had a Labrador in a dog suit, in a St. Bernard suit at one point.
They tried to do that too.
Didn't quite work out.
So instead, during that scene, they used what they called like a Navy fogger.
For the big fog scene. Yeah,
a machine that they had created in World War II to help disguise battleships on the ocean.
Yeah,
and they completely shrouded this whole meadow in fog.
Yeah,
and then of course they didn't tell the fire department.
Yep.
So I heard Lewis Teague was like, we got real lucky because we got all the way to the end of the scene before the sirens started coming and the trucks all pulled up.
At shades of 28 Days Later, right, when they blew up the gas station but didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, just check in with the fire department first.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
But yeah, we've gone through a lot of movie to get to what is now excellent. Yeah. Like there's been a lot of story unfolding, a lot of human drama. There've been a couple of kills, but once they get trapped in this car, this movie gets excellent.
Yeah.
And the performances are good, the tension is great, and you would never know that it is 40 degrees out and they are freezing because it looks hot as fuck.
It does.
And I saw also Jan de Bont did a thing where like he's shooting at the car from a distance, but they just started a fire right in front of the camera, just out of frame, so you got the heat waves coming up.
Yeah.
So he would shoot through those heat waves.
I'm telling you, Jan de Bont was fucking on top of his game on this.
That lion really knocked something loose there, didn't it, Jan?
Apparently.
You're bringing your A game now. Oh, but after the dog attacks, Mom's like, we got to get out of here, and tries to start the car. And of course, the car won't start.
Yeah.
They wait, and they do at one point get it to turn over, and the car starts rolling, and she starts going out of there. And then she stops and looks at the dog, and she's like, fuck you, dog, and tries to go again.
And then the car dies.
Lady, if you've got the car rolling,
do not put your foot on the brake.
No, just keep moving. Just keep moving. But she wants to have a moment, and it sinks her. It sinks everything.
She's the real villain. Shouldn't have brought her kid out there.
Well, they were concerned with how likable she would be, right? Because here's a woman having an affair on her husband. Her life seems great and all this stuff. And there's that moment where Danny Pintaro's freaking out because the dog is attacking again. He's saying something like, I want my daddy, I want my daddy.
And she screams at him.
Snaps.
Yeah.
I'll get you your daddy.
Yeah.
And they talked in the behind-the-scenes stuff about watching the dailies, and they were like, we don't know if we can use this. People are going to hate you. Aren't going to like you.
Yeah.
But as a parent, and any parent who watches that, you've been to that point with your kid where you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And she said it. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad because I can't protect him. And she's just being pushed to the breaking point. It's a
great, believable moment.
Really effective moment in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, the more I watch these movies, and I see Dee Wallace now a few times in these things, and I just feel like such a disservice was done to her. Number one, in the 80s, it's not uncommon. You know, a woman gets to a certain age, she turns like 31, and then whoosh, all of a sudden she's not getting cast in anything anymore, right? But also, everybody always talks about like how fragile Dee was, or like, oh boy, she really got into it, and it took her so long to recover from that stuff. And they talk about her like she's fragile or like she's crazy. Nobody ever says that shit about Daniel Day-Lewis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what a performance. He's so great. He was so into it. He couldn't get out of his character.
But we all know he's a nutter.
Fuck
Yeah.
But still,
You're right.
he gets all these accolades. Like, oh, he's such a fine actor. He's so wonderful. He gets so into his character. He becomes the character. Meanwhile, she's pulling this shit out, and everyone's like, oh, boy, Dee, crazy, fragile lady. Watch out for her. She's just a broken lady. That's such bullshit.
It is bullshit. In fact, that's a... how cool is D. Wallace Stone?
Yeah. The fucking coolest.
Yeah.
And deserves more respect.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Well, yeah. They're in that car for days, and Dad is trying to reach them from
He
his
just thinks she's
work
fucking
retreat.
the handsy man. He's getting
Yeah.
more and more upset every day because he can't get a hold of her.
Yeah.
And then he starts to
Oh,
worry.
my God. I got to get back. And his partner at work is like, hey, look, I know what this is about. You're worried all your creative juices have dried up because of this. And,
That's right.
And you're never going to be able to work again. Like, fucking take it easy, pal. I just need to go.
Yeah, that's right.
I just got to go check out my wife and kid, who I haven't talked to in 4 days.
So you're not worried about your creative juices?
Who's going to do chocolate nut crunch?
Chocolate starfish ringer.
Cuts back to them. The heat's baking the car. Tad's not looking good. He's looking a little gray.
Yeah.
And, this is also when we found out that Cujo doesn't like it when the phone rings.
No.
Because the phone does ring in the house. Because I think maybe even the dad's trying to call or trying to call. Somebody's trying to call.
I think in the book it's the mother, because the boy, when he sees Cujo in the fog right before they leave, he goes to his mom and he's like, Mom, Cujo's sick. And she's like, don't you dare tell your father. Like she's afraid that Joe Kamba is going to make them stay or make the boy stay, because if your dog is sick, you got to take care of him. And so she's like, don't you dare tell your father. Don't worry, he'll be okay. So when they're at her sister's place, the kid keeps like, Mom, I'm worried about Cujo. I'm worried about... He's having dreams about Cujo. He's sleepwalking. There's a whole lot of weird shit happening in the book. And so she's trying to call home to get a hold of her husband so she can say, how's Cujo? And that's pretty much it. So she is calling to talk to Cujo. Cujo doesn't like the phone.
He does not. He hates it more than I do, which is saying something. 'Cause I fucking hate it when the phone rings.
I know, you won't even answer my calls.
Yeah, and this is that scene where Cujo slams into the car door.
Oh, this is so good.
He's just dismantling this fucking Pinto, too.
Yeah.
I think he chews a door handle off.
He tears a door handle off. Yeah, absolutely. He fucks this Pinto up. I'm surprised it didn't blow up.
That's right. She just had to turn on the left turn signal, and if he'd hit it from behind, it would have blown the back end
would have
off.
sparked it.
Sent the dog into fucking outer space.
Is that what it was? Was it an electrical surge from getting smashed in the rear with the turn signal on that ignited
the gas tank?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good times. Good times.
This has been a Ford Motor Company screwed the pooch moment. So Dad eventually does come home, and there is a little bit here where Steve the handsy man has gone a little off his rocker and vandalized their house.
Yeah.
And he's trying to figure out, where's my wife and kid gone? And the cops are like, well, Steve vandalized your house. He admits to that, but he has no idea where your kids are.
Yeah. In the book, when she dumps him, he writes a letter that's like, I enjoyed fucking your wife.
Classy.
Yeah. It's like, I had a great time fucking the hell out of your wife. What do you think that mole right above her pubic hair looks like to you?
Jesus.
And then ends with something like, any questions? He's written it all in block letters and he's mailed it to Dad's workplace. This is how he finds out in the book. He gets this the day before he's supposed to go away on the business trip. And he confronts her and talks to her about it, and she cops to it. So then the guy leaves town, right? And then he gets mad. He's like, I don't think that was bad enough. I'm going to go back and see what's going on at their place. And when he shows up, there's nobody there, and he just decides to trash the place. And then, Dad sends the cops over. The cops go, wow, this place has been trashed. And this is in the book. And he's like, where are my wife and kid? There's no sign of them. So they all think they've been kidnapped by Steve Kemp, the handsy man. So in the movie, he comes home to find the house has been trashed, can't find them, thinks that Steve, because he knows about the thing, may have kidnapped them.
Yeah, I prefer actually her just fessing up in the movie.
Sure.
Like her realizing that she shouldn't be fucking around and having her own come to Jesus moment with him rather than getting sort of outed. I like it more as a character arc for her to sort of struggle with it and come to her own realization. I think if she was outed, you might like her less. You know, like you only came forward because somebody told on you.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we said, I know they were trying to make sure that she was likable enough in this.
So he ends up sending the cops out to see if the wife is out there.
Where's her car? And I think he says something like, oh, well,
there was a problem with the car.
I told her we had to send it to Joe Camber's. Oh, that place out by the old Micmac burial ground? Yeah, that's the one.
Way out there in the middle of nowhere?
Sure. I'm a bit hungry. You mind if I grab a box of lickety-splits before I head out there? Like, sure, officer, whatever you need.
Do you have any of those chocolate starfish? My boy loves those.
The sweet taste of brown sugar. Well, the policeman heads out to the farm.
Yeah.
And he sees the Pinto. Huh?
Covered in blood, beat to shit.
Covered in blood and dog saliva and egg yolk, yellow, gross.
Yeah.
That car looks like it's just been painted in gore and
it looks spooky. This is Sheriff Bannerman, who in the Dead Zone was played by Tom Skerritt. And you know, the Dead Zone came out a couple of months after this. I think it would have been really cool if the Dead Zone came out first and if Tom Skerritt reprised his role as Sheriff Bannerman in this movie.
Sure.
Because Sheriff Bannerman, of course, gets killed in about 45 seconds.
He does, because here comes Cujo. Oh, shit. And then he runs into the barn. Yeah, I guess he drops his gun.
Yeah.
Or something.
He
There's
fumbles
just so many instruments that you could pick up to defend yourself.
He steps over a gas can and a pitchfork and move a machete out of the way so he can climb a bale of hay.
That's right. What's this axe doing on here? Just throws it off to the side. And exactly.
Yeah.
He stands on like a rickety railing or whatever.
Yeah.
And Cujo essentially just takes him out and starts tearing his throat out. And
there's a good chunk of meat Cujo rips away from the dude's chest, and then you get like good Sheriff Bannerman death.
And Mom in the car is like, oh, shit, I can use this opportunity to get out. And Cujo's like, no. He like leaves the table.
You do not.
Over there.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere, lady.
And yeah, when the dad finds out that the policeman went out there and then he never responded, that's when the dad heads out to
and the Jag,
Camber's
top down,
farm.
dusty roads.
But things are grim for Mom and Tad in the Pinto now.
Tad's having a fucking seizure, acting fucking genius.
It's great. And this is also another moment where I wish we had seen this at the beginning of the movie. You know what I mean? Like if Tad had gotten so scared of the thing in his closet that it caused him to seize up.
Yeah, sure.
I just was looking for something to tie into that element of the kid's fear in the beginning of this movie. But regardless, you're right. He's fucking great.
Yeah.
His face is kind of like an open gasp, and he's clawing at his throat.
She's sticking her fingers in his mouth, and he's biting her. And
yeah, for real.
Yeah, for real.
Ow! And so, she's got to do something. So she gets out of the car, and she's already been brutalized. We mentioned the scene where the dog jumps in there in the car, and she manages to knock it out, but bit her leg, and she's limping towards the house, and Cujo emerges from under the porch. Boy, Cujo needs a bath.
Yeah. Oh,
right now.
He is covered in fucking Sheriff Bannerman and Joe Camba and Gary.
Mom finds a baseball bat and begins to defend herself as Cujo approaches. I did hear the composer talking about this movie. He described Cujo as a dog that's been done in by two bats. One is the bat that bites his nose, and the other one is the baseball bat that he gets whacked with a few times. Yeah. She breaks it off. The bat snaps. Cujo lunges at her and
Yeah.
Gets impaled on the bat.
Drugged dog for that moment, too.
Was it a drugged dog?
Yeah.
Because it is a giant dog head she's like looking at, like, oh.
Yeah, and she's sort of
Looks
pushing
great.
up on the face, and the
Yeah,
face
totally.
skin is going up, and the eyes are kind of whatever. Yeah, they had a vet there that gave the dog a sedative, and then they put the dog on top of her, and the dog was actually starting to wake up towards the end of the scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, Mom throws Cujo's body off. She grabs the sheriff's gun. Can't open the door of the Pinto because it's been rocked so many times.
Yeah.
Nailed by Cujo's head. He's bitten the handles off. She can't get in there, so she pistol whips the back glass hatch open. And she grabs her boy and runs into the house, and she's taking water from the faucet and just sort of like splashing it at him, trying to get it in his mouth, trying to revive him and wake him up. And here's another main difference from the book, right?
Yes.
Because in the book,
He's dead.
kid dies.
The kid
Yeah.
dies. In fact, in the book, she has killed Cujo with the sharpened end of the bat, and then she gets up and she's screaming at the dead body of Cujo, and she starts beating him with the other end of the bat, and she's just abusing the dog's body and creating a mess. And that's when her husband pulls up and sees her, and she thinks he's a mirage. She doesn't even believe that it's her husband.
Oh, because she's delirious with like heat
Yeah,
stroke.
because she's completely delirious. And he comes up and he grabs her and he's like, honey, it's me. Where's Tad? Where's Tad? And she's like, he's in the car. She can barely talk. And he goes in the car and the husband's in the car and he just looks at her and he says, how long has he been dead?
Oh.
And it's like, oh, man. Yeah. Wah, wah, wah. I mean, it's not funny, but, you know.
Well, I had heard that Stephen King is actually kind of regretful that he ended the book that way.
Yeah, in fact,
has
he
said,
told
like,
them.
if he could rewrite it, yeah.
Yeah.
And so when he did the original screenplay, I think, which they threw a lot of it out, but they did keep this major change that the boy revives. Oh,
Yeah.
thank goodness.
It's a better movie, I think.
And then we get one final jump scare.
Oh,
though,
my
'cause
God. Yeah.
through the window. It's great. It's another great one. And then Dee Wallace Stone grabs the pistol that she'd had and
Yeah. Again, we don't see it happen because
Nope,
we don't
puts
see
him down.
the dog die or get hit, which is good.
And then she manages to bring her boy outside. He's revived but still weak, and up pulls Dad in the car.
Yep.
And he runs to the porch and he takes the boy from her arms. Freeze frame.
Da, 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 da.
And that is Cujo.
The book carries on a little bit more because, you know, the kid's dead. They try and stay together. They consider suing the Cambers. The county health inspector comes out and removes the dog's head and takes it back to confirm that it had rabies. And there's a whole lot of denouement in the book.
And they discussed putting epilogues and stuff like this on there, but then I heard Lewis Teague said, essentially we knew there wasn't really any more
There's no
movie
reason.
after the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that only kind of underscores sort of my problem with the beginning of this movie is like, even though there's story there and it is compelling, I don't know that it's that necessary to what is essentially this great story of this mom and son being harassed by this dog locked in a car. But also just a thing, too, about rabies. Like, rabies is no fucking joke. Like, if you get bit by a rabid animal, you have, like, 48 hours before it becomes fatal.
Yeah.
And
that's
you
a big
have to
concern
get-
in the book, too, because she got bit by the dog, and then she keeps thinking, you know, is this rabies? Like, as she's having a hard time focusing and stuff.
Is this rabies?
Yeah.
Well, Cujo walks like a duck and quacks like a duck. It's rabies, lady.
Yeah.
I mean, she gets bit, but realistically, and I'm going to throw that word in there, she'd have to get to that hospital real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's already been in that car for a long time.
And they cover that in the book, too. The shots that she had to go through and the pain and all that. Yeah. But anyway, how many tennis balls would you give this?
How many tennis balls am I going to give Cujo? I'm going to give Cujo 6 tennis balls.
Okay, that's not bad.
I was going to give Cujo 5.5, but Because the end of this movie is fucking great. You just gotta wait so long before you get to it. There's great character work. There's great camera work. I think Lewis Teague does a good job directing it. But really, there's just so much waiting, and none of it is tied in there. That's why I keep saying, like, I wish they had tied the boy's fears into him being trapped in the car somehow. Because when all's said and done, it's really just half an hour of a great movie about a mom and son trapped in a car.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, there's really not enough meat on this bone.
Yeah, I
Just
totally
a
understand
little
where you're
slow.
coming from, and I probably would give it a similar rating, but because I deep dove into Cujo with the 4K, Ultra HD, and listening to the book, and watching all the behind the scenes, and seeing what went into it, and all the making of, I was like, nah, this is a really well-crafted movie, and it follows the book very well. As far as being a book to film adaptation, I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to give it 7 tennis balls, because I do think if you like the book, it's what you want.
Lewis Teague thinks it's his best movie.
Yeah.
I saw him talking about it. He thinks
And he
it's
did
his
Navy SEALs.
most well-crafted movie.
He directed Charlie Sheen, who's a big fan of Nutter Butt Honey and chocolate starfish rings.
Dingleberry Crisp.
Lion Nuts.
Laxigrams.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's worth a watch. If the listeners haven't seen it in a long time, it's definitely worth a watch.
You mentioned that it follows the book really closely. That's cool. I do think they did a good job in the movie of staying away from the supernatural element, because I don't like the whole idea of it being a spirit of a serial killer in the dog's body transferred by a bat.
Well, in the book, I went into it knowing that there was an element of that, so I was looking for it. And like I said, there's only about 4 or 5 times somebody even mentions Frank Dodd. It's at the very beginning. One of the other moments is Bannerman, when he's being attacked by the dog. The look in the dog's eyes reminds him of Frank Dodd. So it's not like they lean too heavily into it. It's very lightly dusted, like powdered sugar on top of the Honey Nut Cheerios. It's not a huge element, and I know that they were talking about leaning into that for one draft of the script, the first one that Barbara Turner did, that when Medak was directing.
Good changes.
Yeah.
And some great performances. Well, shall we
Who needs to go outside?
Yes.
Do you need to go outside?
Shall we go outside to the lobby?
That's right.
Is that what
you want to go outside to the lobby? Let's go.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the lobby.
I'll see you in a bit.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy s'mores. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Show starts in 1 minute.
Welcome back from the lobby.
Did you get a treat? Were you a good boy during our lobby
I was
break?
a good boy.
Did you get a treat?
I did. I got a treat. Yeah.
Did you? Now, what's the treat of choice for your dogs? You got like greenies or lollipops, beggin' strips, sausages, dingleberry crunch?
Whatever I'm eating is what they're interested in.
Well, sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, you don't have like a bag of actual dog treats?
We do. I think there's some sausages, and there have been beggin' strips.
It's the only one thing that smells like bacon.
Oh, man. You ever think, fuck, I'm going to try one?
I think we had this conversation already. I have eaten like a third of a box of milk bones once.
I mean, it was funny.
It was funny. And yeah, they just kept laughing. But no, when it comes to like the soft dog treat, I'm less interested in trying that. I don't want anything that's going to stick in my teeth. Do you know what I mean? I
You
want
want to
to
be trying to sneak a fucking begging strip out of a molar.
That's right.
With your tongue.
I don't want to toothpick out a sausage later on.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, I agree. Should we tell people where to find us if they don't know already?
Yeah. Patreon.com. The Whole Damn Thing at Patreon. The Whole Damn Thing 13 on Instagram and TikTok. You can find us on our Facebook page. Support the show. Join our socials. Write a review. Join the Patreon.
There's a lot of good stuff in the Patreon. $4 a month if you want the whole damn thing. Or maybe you just want a little tail, which is half the price. Either way, you get some good stuff. Lots of things we cut out of the show. And lots of stories that are Patreon only.
Good stuff. Click, like, subscribe. You know what to do. Oh, but we go from one dog to another.
Who's a good boy?
Yes, 2025's good boy. Good boy. Do you have a write-up?
right.
Do you have a write-up for us? Do you have a synopsis? You got a little write-up? What do you got?
I do have something.
Yeah?
I do have something for good boy.
Oh.
They say a house remembers everything. But that's just a saying, right? Have you seen a specter, demon, or Class 5 full-roaming vapor? Does your house have cold spots, unexplained moans, or overly creaky doors? Well, you don't need an exorcist. You need a dog. That's right, Scraps. Call Good Boy Incorporated Ghost Sensing Dog Rentals. Our specialty trained dogs can detect paranormal activity using senses science doesn't fully understand. Yes, that's a good dog, Scraps. I see you've got something there, don't you? That's a good boy. Let's hear a testimonial from a caller.
The dog stopped at the end of the hallway, sat down, and wouldn't stop staring at the ceiling fan.
Congratulations, that's a confirmed haunting. Good boy. Good Boy Incorporated dogs react different in different ways depending on the ghost. Barking means anger. Whimpering means sadness. Refusal to enter a room? Well, that's a sign that maybe you shouldn't live there. Good boy. But let's hear another testimonial from another actual client.
Yeah, the dog started growling at the couch around midnight.
And what happened next?
We don't use the couch anymore.
That's a good boy. Rent for a day, a weekend, or until the dog refuses to sleep. Call 1-976-466-3259. That's 1-976-GOOD-BOY. Services not available in Pennsylvania, New York, Illinois, California, Utah, Nevada, Washington State, Wisconsin, and Virginia.
Oh, good boy.
Good boy.
You reminded me of when I was living in New York, they always advertised this dog. There's like a beagle they had. I forget his name, Barney or some shit, but that could smell bed bugs. Like they'd be
Really?
Like, you got bed bugs? Call Barney. And yeah, they'd bring the dog in the house and the dog could sniff out if you had bed bugs or not.
Get the
and where
fuck
they
out.
were. Yeah. Yeah.
Does the
fucking
dog
amazing.
just smell bed bugs in every house and they go, yep, you got them. Looks like we're going to have to treat it. Good boy.
No. Fucking
No,
dogs-
Barney knows. I
dogs
know
are
it doesn't
amazing,
look
man.
like it.
I mean, that was always my biggest fear when I lived in the city. I always said I would rather break my fucking arms than have bed bugs. And I'm totally
God.
serious. I would rather break my arm than have to deal with fucking taking all of my clothes and furniture out and washing everything and sealing
I mean,
it
that
up
makes
and heat
sense.
stuff. Like, just fucking break my arm, give me a cast. That's much, much easier.
Every time I go on location, Grace is always like, make sure you don't have bed bugs there where you're staying. Because, you know, a lot of hotels, especially on the East Coast, do.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been in some before when I was on tour once, and somebody woke up and they're like, we got bed bugs. And I fucking got out of bed, and we called our tour manager, who wasn't with us right then, and I was like, you got to get us in a new hotel right fucking now. We're not staying here.
Fucking way.
But we're not here to talk about bed bugs.
Actually, this has been a Hollywood Bed Bugs Minute.
Enough with the bed bugs. Let's talk about Good Boys. 2025's Good Boy.
That's right.
is directed by Ben Leonberg.
Yeah, I believe that's how you say it.
Written by Alex Cannon and Ben Leonberg. And this movie started out as a short, right? I think this was a short film at South by Southwest a couple years ago. And I am pretty sure, because it made a big impression there, people went, wow, I could watch a whole movie of that. And he was like, okay, we're going to do it then.
I think the very first movie they did, and I wanted to get a chance to look it up today, but today was so crazy I didn't, is like a shot-for-shot remake of Danny discovering the Spectre in room 237 in The Shining, but they did it from the dog's point of view.
Yes.
And I was like, I gotta find this.
I did hear that. Yeah, no, this is a movie...
we'll find it and put it on Patreon.
Born from a short that Ben Leonberg did, and then turning it into a feature. He took months and months and months and months and filmed it.
It was 3 years, but at 400 shooting days.
Oh, I mean, this is independent filmmaking as... like independent as you can get, really.
Yeah.
Like
this is waking up with the wife and going, let's shoot Indy today.
Yeah. Because it is their dog that they used for this. And it makes a huge difference in this movie because the dog and the owner have such a connection. They've got a real connection and it really comes
This is not a trained Hollywood dog. This is not a dog actor.
No.
This is a dog that has no idea it's in a movie or what a camera is.
No. And I did see the dog won some sort of acting award.
Yeah, he did.
Something. And I just want to say...
Critics' Choice, I think.
It's bullshit. That's total bullshit. Listen.
Come on!
No, fuck this.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. He's the best boy.
Yeah.
He is a very charming dog. He's very charismatic. But I mean, like, this performance has to do with the camera work behind it. It's not the dog performing. You know what I mean? This is, in film school, they talk about the Kuleshov effect, right? Where essentially it's like you take a shot of somebody and then whatever it shows in the next frame, you naturally associate them. You think the guy is thinking about that, like a bowl of porridge or whatever it shows.
Yeah, because you're seeing a bowl of porridge.
Yeah, you're making the leap right there in your mind. And that's what this movie does very, very effectively with this dog.
So Indy's looking at a dog biscuit with peanut butter on it, and the film is showing you that Indy's looking at a spooky shadow.
Yes. Yes.
Meanwhile, Indy just loves peanut butter.
Yeah. He's a good boy.
We named the dog Indy.
Yeah. Yes. There's a couple Indiana Jones references in this movie which we can get into. But they put the camera down on the dog's level for 99% of this movie.
Yeah.
The camera is right down near the floor. So it puts
Not even really showing the actors' faces.
No, hardly at all in this.
And
that's actually one of the issues I have with this movie as well. I guess we probably should have said, if this is your first time listening, we will do the spoiler-free version, which is what we're doing right now before we head into the lobby to come back to spoil.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil this for you. We will give you a
thing.
chance to duck out and watch the movie.
But it's interesting because they don't show the actors' faces very much. And they do use ADR, like Ben Leonberg is the man that you see on screen all the time. He is the director and the writer and Indy's owner.
Yeah.
But they use
probably about 90% of the time it's him.
Somebody else's voice for him. And it's a really weird thing that sometimes I get bothered by this movie because it's almost like watching a dubbed movie.
Sure.
Like a foreign movie with a different language track on top. Because not only do you not see their face, you hardly ever see their mouths move.
Yeah.
And in so many ways, this movie is cleverly made. I do feel like one of the impediments is that creates a disconnect between their vocal presence and their physical presence for me in this movie that makes it feel a little phony in some ways.
I had a thought today as I was thinking about this movie driving to work, and I was listening to the director talking about it a little bit and describing about how they don't show the face and how it's mostly him and, so the dog can get genuine good reactions out of it. And I thought, if this movie is from the dog's point of view, it would have been really interesting to lean into it even more and have like that moment in a movie where everyone else is speaking a different language and you only hear the words you know.
Yes.
If it was like, wop, 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 good boy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's an old, I think, Far Side cartoon. Remember those cartoons, those comics or whatever, where it was like what you say to a dog and the owner is like, gosh dang it, Daisy, how many times do I have to tell you not to get on the table, Daisy? And Daisy, stay out of the garbage. And then the next one was like what the dog hears was blah, 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 Daisy, and blah, 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 Daisy, blah, blah, Daisy.
Yeah, exactly. This movie could have been like that, and you really could edit it, redo it, and just redo the ADR.
Well, I did think
to the point.
How easy is this movie going to be to like make a Korean or make it Japanese, or you could put this in any language, easier than any movie ever outside of like an animated film or something, And even in an animated film, you have to do lip match on it. You don't even have to do lip match on this movie. You just put your own vocal track on there.
I am glad the dog didn't talk, though.
Oh, yes.
Or the dog didn't have an inner monologue.
Inner monologue. No. They just let the dog's stillness and its presence sell it. And it does. He's a good boy, and he's a charming animal right out the gate.
Absolutely.
I do feel, too, though, that, like, this is born from a short, and somebody said, I could watch a whole movie of that. And I applaud them for doing it and for taking the time, and it's really a labor of love. And as independent filmmaking goes, it's like an astonishing feat.
Sure.
This movie is also very one note for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like this movie has a plot that really develops or takes any real turns. It kind of hits the same note. It takes maybe a couple different angles on it, but it is not a very dynamic story that's being told. It's also not a very long one. This movie is got
73 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a lot longer, it might have been hard to sit through. But because of its 73-minute runtime, it's not a time suck. It's easier to get into, I think. But I agree with the things that you're saying, and I think we probably feel similarly about this movie. I will say, I wanted this to be my favorite movie of the year because I'm such a fan of dogs and because I thought it was such a cool idea. And in the end, I was just like,
I thought it was not neat, but yes.
Yeah, it didn't drive me crazy. I don't dislike this movie, but I don't love this movie.
Yeah.
In fact, I love everything about this movie except the movie, if that makes sense.
No, I get it. And like I said, it's really, the story doesn't really go anywhere, and it's relying on this dog. And he's a charming animal. But it's a lot of weight to just put on the animal, and the trick wears itself out on me. And I love dogs too, and I know everybody who saw the trailer for this movie was like, wow, that looks great, that dog better not die.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to the website.
Does the dog die?
Yes. Like, nobody wanted to watch this movie if the dog was gonna die,
And I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I would have been pissed.
Well, it's a funny thing I've come to realize about myself watching the movies, and it's come up a couple times. Like, I like dogs, I like animals, I never like to see animals hurt, but I also am not overly sensitive about it in movies. Like, sometimes a dog gets killed and it's a bummer, but it doesn't offend my sensibilities. I'm not gonna not watch a movie because of it. I've realized what makes the difference is like how much is the dog involved in the story. Like, is the dog's name in the title? And then if that dog dies, I'm going to have a big problem with it.
Yeah. Old Yeller?
Oh, yeah. Old Yeller, Turner and Hooch.
Does the dog die in Turner and Hooch?
Yeah. Hooch dies.
Fuck off.
Yeah, man.
Fuck Tom Hanks. Fuck those people. What the fuck? I've never seen that movie. The dog dies in Turner and Hooch?
Yeah.
That's a comedy.
You've never seen it? Oh
No.
my gosh. Oh, spoiler alert.
Shit. Well, guess who's not watching that movie now?
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Why does the dog die in Turner and Hooch?
It gets shot saving him. I think the dog takes a bullet for him.
It's not like miraculous, like, oh, he took a bullet, but he's going to be okay? He's dead?
No, I believe, now it's been a while since I've seen Turner and Hooch, but I believe he takes the bullet and he dies, and it's sad. But Hooch got busy with another girl, so there's like Hooch puppies at the end of it.
Oh.
So you're like, oh, the Hooch lives on a bit.
Okay.
Or is the dog Turner? Is Tom Hanks Hooch? I'm pretty sure Hooch is the pooch.
I don't know. What's that Owen Wilson movie where the fucking dog dies?
Marley and Me? Is that?
Fuck off. Marley and Me. Fuck you.
Sure. I mean, there's plenty of them out there. When the dog dies and dances with wolves, I'm like, ah. And then they kill the horse right after that. You're like, ah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? Kevin Costner. Fuck you.
Those are reasons to go to the website, Does the Dog Die?
Sure.
But in this movie, the dog does not die.
Yeah. I mean, we'll tell you that spoiler right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And overall, I mean, I really applaud the filmmakers in this. It is clever. Just putting the camera down there and tracking the whole movie from the dog's level does put you right in the action. And they did that thing with The Shining. It's very similar to the way you follow Danny through the halls of the Overlook, right? The camera's right there, down at his big wheel level, following him as he takes the turns and all that stuff. This movie just utilizes that type of camera work, puts you right there with this dog as he watches his owner go through the struggles and try to deal with it.
Yes, the dog in Turner and Hooch dies at the end of the film. He's shot by Walter Boyett during a shootout.
Yeah, see, you haven't even seen that movie, and you're upset about it.
Yeah. Fuck off.
It's a funny movie. I mean, it is a pretty good movie.
It's not funny. That is not funny. Turner and Hooch.
I mean, I remember it being
Who's
funny.
responsible for this movie? Buddy cop film, my ass. Mayor Winningham. Craig T. Nelson? Come on! Directed by Roger Spottiswoode? Fuck you,
that guy.
Touchstone Pictures.
Because right around that same time, you know, because Hollywood can never just make one of something. You got to make two movies. You got to do Dante's Peak and Volcano. You got to do Deep Impact and Armageddon.
Right.
I'm pretty sure
James Belushi did the dog movie.
K9
this time, right?
K9 and Turner and Hooch came out at the same time. The dog
fucking dog doesn't die in K9.
Dog doesn't die in K9.
That's right. Fuck off.
Jim Belushi, that movie made Jim Belushi fall in love with German Shepherds, too. He had tons of German Shepherds since then. Like a farm covering German Shepherds.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, Jim Belushi. And fuck you, screenplay by Dennis Schreierack, Michael Blodgett, Daniel Petrie Jr., Jim Cash, Jack Epps Jr.
Boy.
You guys go right straight to hell.
Yeah, boy. I'll never forgive you for Turner and Hooch. Little they know, 2026, they still be getting death threats in the mail. Roger Spottiswood's like, I guess now's as good a time as any to join Instagram. And he gets his account. It's like, ba-ding, ba-ding, ding, ding. What is this? Oh, this is all vitriolic hate mail. Well, I've been out of the public eye for a while.
Just pictures of fucking Hooch.
Yes.
X's over his eyes.
People have photoshopped his head on Hooch's body. You.
You son of a bitch. How dare you? Buddy cop film.
Yeah. Hey, they killed the dog in the Road Warrior. You gonna stop watching that?
No.
Yeah, see? You got exceptions to this rule.
Okay. You're right. I'm not happy about the dog dying in the Road Warrior,
Nobody is.
I mean, that guy gets his ass blown up right after.
Yeah.
So
Crossbow take out the dog in the Road Warrior?
Yep. You just kind of hear it. Yeah.
That's enough.
It's not a sound effect I like in a movie. I'm out.
Well, there's a little of that. There's some dog yelping and whimpering in this one as well, but no, the dog does not die.
Nope.
So what do we want to rate Good Boy with?
How many bandanas do you put around Good Boy's neck?
Oh.
Aww. My good boy's going to look a little like the lead singer of Poison.
Brett Michaels?
Brett Michaels?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to have 6 bandanas around his neck.
Oh, 6.
I wish this movie was better. Don't dislike it, but it's unfortunately not what you want. Like I said, I love everything about this movie except the movie. And it's only because there isn't much of a story there, and the story that is there is confusing. And I feel like that could have been cleaned up or cleared up. Also, the fact that it took them such a long time. Yes, it's a labor of love. And yes, fantastic job. You and your wife and your own dog created a movie, and you were able to get him to look like he's acting and reacting to everything that's on screen. And that was a really, really good job.
Terrific.
But you're right. This is a short movie. This is a short film and should stay a short film.
Agree.
It doesn't really last as a feature. It kind of plays itself out. So I'm going to give it 6 bandanas around that good boy's neck.
I give it 5.5 bandanas because I gave Cujo a 6, and this doesn't have moments and changes in the story like Cujo does. Cujo has, the incredible sequence in the car. But no, this is 5.5 for me, and just like you said, this is a short film. And I wish Ben Leonberg and his wife all the best. I hope they make a lot of money off this movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, they did. They did.
Wonderful. Absolutely stellar, because the independent spirit is strong. It got legs. It's wonderful, but this is a short film. It's very one note. I
feel like there was a lot lacking in the script. And there's a lot of things that they try and create in the script that they don't really connect all the dots. It's like a bunch of tines sticking up. Like, well, there's this part that could be the story, and there's this part that could be the story, and there's this part. I mean, we'll get to it in the spoilers.
I will say this. There's part of it where I'm like, does that really make sense? And then I did think sometimes, well, maybe because you're in the dog's perspective, it's okay that it doesn't make sense, because it doesn't make sense to the animal.
I had that thought too, and I was going to talk about it when we get to the spoilers.
I mean, I think ultimately that is unsatisfying to me. It's just something that occurred to me when I was scrutinizing this story a little bit.
Me too.
More strong.
Exactly.
Feel guilty that I didn't like Good Boy as much.
I know. I want to pet him on his head a little bit more.
I know. You're still a good boy. You're still a good boy.
Good Boy is still a good boy, and it's well crafted. It's just doesn't have much substance to it in the end.
You're such a bastard. Fucking fucker.
Hey,
go ahead, start working on that sequel to Turner and Hooch. I know that's really what you want to do. Turner and Hooch 2. The dog dies again.
I am not a bastard like Roger Spottiswoode or the 6 people that wrote fucking Turner and Hooch. 6 goddamn people to write that fucking movie. Fuck off.
And every single one of them was like, thumbs down to the dog. All right. Let's head into the lobby one more time. We'll come back and spoil the whole damn thing.
All right.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks, delicious sandwiches, ice cream, coffee and snacks, and many other pleasing treats. Our foods are fresh and tasty, our drinks satisfying and refreshing. They're so good. And now, on with the show.
And we are back from the lobby.
Yeah, we're back. You know who's not back? Fucking Roger Spottiswoode. Listen, it was rumored for years. Yeah, no, I'm fucking mad about this.
Sure,
all right?
I gotcha.
You know who was the original director of Turner and Hooch?
Richard Donner.
No.
Lewis Teague.
No, Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler? Director. The Fonz?
Yeah, the Fonz. You know what would have made that movie cooler? Not killing the fucking dog. Hey, am I right?
Henry Winkler, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
He and Tom Hanks had a falling out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks and the Fonz?
Tom Hanks and the Fonz didn't get along. Maybe Tom Hanks isn't cool. I don't know.
Oh.
But
is Turner and Hooch when Tom Hanks jumped the shark? I don't think so. He was just
1989?
getting warmed up.
I'm just getting started.
Ooh. Hoo-ah.
Hoo-yah.
All right. 2025's Good Boy. Starts off the sleeping dog at the feet of its owner. Owner's sitting on the couch. His phone rings. And yes, like we said, all focused on the dog, not focused on the person. Person's head kind of shrouded in the shadows, as it will be for pretty much this whole movie. The TV is on static, which, do they even do that anymore?
I don't think so.
But Ben Leonberg is a big fan of the movie Poltergeist, which he said had an impact on him. So you get the static on the TV, and it's kind of casting those shadows around the darkened living room. Phone rings. There's no movement from the figure on the sofa, and the dog notices a shadow in the corner.
Yeah.
Dog stands guard over the owner who's sitting on the couch, not moving, as the phone rings and rings. And then you see a shot of the phone, and blood drips on the screen of the phone.
Yeah, because he's leaning up, and there's blood streaming or dripping out of his nose or mouth. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah. You can see, I think it's Vera is trying to call him. I think her name is
his
Vera.
sister.
Keys rattle on the door. She opens it up. She's like, dude, you have to pick up your phone. But then notices, oh, no.
Yeah.
What's going on? Calls the ambulance. Title screen. And we get a montage of this puppy growing up.
Great fucking montage.
Oh, it's
great
so
fucking montage.
Yeah. These elements in here, these are working. You see the dog, and it's hard not to love this dog right from the get-go, but then you get to the growing up montage. They're wrestling with him and playing with him, and it's so cute. And
in one moment, you see a television that's got Indiana Jones on the screen, and yes, they do love Indiana Jones, and the dog is named after Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. And they intersperse this montage of the dog growing up with the owner getting sick. So you see him sometimes like in the hospital. You see him coming out of the emergency room as like the sister has the dog on the leash. Like, oh, here he comes. He's free. Yay.
Hey,
and
good
they're
boy.
sharing this bond with each other. And then we're going to cut to a car interior at night, and Todd is the name of the owner here. He is out on a country road at a gate. It's raining, and we find out he's at his grandpa's old house. He's talking on the phone, talking to the sister. Hey, do you know where he keeps the key to the gate? She's like, what are you doing at grandpa's cursed house? Haunted house. They'll throw that out a couple times. Like, you're in the old haunted house.
Who would want to stay there?
And the dog in the car notices like a shadow or a shade out the back window. Out the rear window of the car.
Yeah. Our dogs in the house have noticed things in the house, and that's a Patreon story.
Yeah.
That's a reason to go pay your fucking $4 rather than get a $6 coffee.
That's a good one, too, because that's like a 40-minute story. That's worth the price of admission right there. And then you got all that Patreon goodies.
Hours of stuff. And take a stand against Roger Spottiswoode. Join the Patreon.
Director.
Fuck Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch.
Yeah.
Oh. But as he gets the gate open and he's going into the house, you see a little message come on his cell phone. Did it come back? So we've already seen that he is sick, and it doesn't take much to connect the dots that he is probably struggling with cancer.
Yep.
Now he pulls into this house. This house is in rough shape. It's his grandpa's house.
Shitsville.
It's full of junk. It's got leaky ceilings. There's buckets around. There's work lights.
It's always raining outside.
Yeah. It's either going through renovations or it's just fallen into total disrepair. And this is really what I noticed for the first time. Like, oh, these people aren't really talking. This is all ADR.
Yeah.
It's all loop dialogue has been put on afterwards. Yeah. And I find it really off-putting in this movie.
The first time I find it really off-putting is when you meet the neighbor.
Oh.
Which is coming up shortly.
You mean just because he has the mask on?
Yeah, he's covered in like a full ghillie suit. You can't even see his face. He's trying to be creepy.
Yeah.
And the dog is like, hey, what's going on? Is that my master in there?
Yeah. Yeah. But as we get into the house here, in the early stages of the movie, I'm totally into it. right?
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, the
me
dog
too.
sees something. And
Absolutely fascinated by this movie.
The camera's following the dog at the dog's level, and it's tracking him through the house and stuff. And anytime the dog stops and looks at a corner, you're like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? And the fact that it's seen these shadows and these shades a couple of times, you're waiting for this mystery to sort of reveal itself. Todd has to go down. He's got a very Conjuring basement. You know, he's got like that door underneath the stairs that leads to a stairway going down into the basement. It is very reminiscent of the basement in The Conjuring. Oh, something smells awful down here, he says.
Yeah. But it smells like death.
He's going to get situated in the house here, talking on the phone, watching old home movies of his grandpa. And as Todd's sitting there, and Indy hears something, and we'll track the dog up the stairs and into a empty room. There's a lot of taxidermy stuff around too. Apparently, Grandpa was really into taxidermy, just like the grandpa.
Really into it.
Lost Boys. So there's like,
I was just gonna say, he's very much like the grandpa.
Rabbits and pheasants and foxes and all sorts of stuff around here.
I like that grandpa's Larry Fessenden. He's good.
Who's Larry Fessenden?
He's like a horror actor. He's been in a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the name's real familiar. What's he been in?
He's been in a lot of things. He had a little bit part in Maxine. He was in Killers of the Flower Moon. He was in The Manitou, I think. Wendigo. Wendigo, not The Manitou. Wendigo.
Oh, you fucking idiot. You got your Manitou mixed up with your Wendigo?
I know. two mints in one. He's been like a director, actor, producer, writer.
I know I've seen the name. I know I've seen the name before. Yeah. As Indy's going through this house, though, especially the second time around, I'm trying to make connections to it, and I'm trying to think, like, is this house supposed to be a metaphor for Todd's failing body? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I never heard the director
I feel like there's a lot of metaphors
like
in this movie.
But, you know, the fact that it's got problems, it's leaking, there's like black spots appearing certain places.
Yeah.
But I never heard the
like
director
cancer.
address anything in that regard. Everything I saw behind the scenes was all about the dog and shooting it from the dog's perspective. Like
they don't live in this house, do they? I hope not, because this place is a shithole.
I mean, it certainly looked like a shithole. It certainly dressed it up like a shithole. Yeah. The next morning, they're out for a walk, and I think this is when you're going to meet that neighbor. Right.
Yeah, the strange neighbor. Fox hunting neighbor.
Todd and Indy go through like a graveyard on the side. You know, this is where all my family's buried. They all died young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. That's weird.
And Todd goes to take a leak, and Indy's sitting there by a hollowed log, and you see that figure slowly approaching from behind.
It's supposed to be creepy.
I mean, it is creepy at first because this is one of those movies that has you constantly looking over shoulders and in doorways and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think putting it at the dog's level does kind of put you, or I at least felt like, in a more vulnerable,
at a disadvantage,
vulnerable position.
Yeah.
So these things around the corner and in the background, you know, kind of always got my eyes looking for it. But yes, this is when they meet their neighbor. Like you said, he's kind of in a ghillie suit, dressed all in camo. Hunter, well, be careful, it's fox hunting season, he says. I've got snares all around here.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing that worried me the most in this movie. As soon as he was like, oh, I got fox snares and traps all around, I was like,
who's going to get caught in a fox snare?
We're going to hear the sound.
I'll take Indy for 200.
We're going to hear the sound.
Yeah.
Like at some point.
Yeah. The sound that triggered my anger at Roger Spottiswoode.
Yeah, the hunter is Mr. Downs. He's the neighbor. He will be very helpful. He's going to lend them a generator a little bit later because the power in the house is so spotty. And mentions to Todd he found the grandpa's body. But they never found the dog because Grandpa had a dog. And I thought, you never found that dog? You didn't look very hard. Because they do find that dog later.
Yeah.
It's not like that dog's hiding anywhere.
Might as well have a neon sign over it.
Holy shit. We never found the dog because we never opened that door.
Yeah. Totally.
And I did think, too, like, when Todd moves into this place, It's in rough shape. The first thing you have to do is check like every single room to make sure there's not like a fucking colony of raccoons living in there ready to tear your place apart and spread disease. Give your dog rabies. Fucking. Then you have to put him down like Hooch and Turner and Hooch.
Fuck that. Goddamn motherfuckers. Buena Vista, Disney. You're on my list. Guess who's not paying for fucking Disney Plus?
Buena Vista made that movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Touchstone Pictures.
Disney.
Buena Vista Distribution.
Keeping up the tradition of traumatizing kids.
Sons
Bambi's
of bitches.
Mom.
Yeah.
Fox and the Hound. Turner and Hooch.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So, yes, Mr. Downs lends them the generator, and this will cause the lights to flicker on and off for the rest of this movie, pretty much. At night, we get some more of that static on the TV, a la Poltergeist, flashing around the room, and the doggo is sleeping in bed, and we get a dog dream.
Yeah.
And the camera fades in and out, and we see Bandit. Bandit was Grandpa's dog. He's a dog that has like a golden retriever, has a red bandana on. Another sweet-looking dog, but he's whimpering. And we get a nice close shot on the dog's eye. And in the reflection of it, from the blackness of the eye, a figure like crawls really fast towards and a hand reaches out at the eye. This is a great shot.
Yeah.
That's fucking legitimately creepy. Good job, good boy. You got me on that one.
This movie's got its points.
It's got a few of them, for sure. Yeah, the next morning, Todd's got to go. He's got to leave Indy in the house, and we do get they show this shot in the trailer, but it's like, oh, that's a good one, where they show Todd leaves and locks the door, and Indy runs onto the couch,
Over
and he's looking
to
out
the
the window.
and looking out,
And you see it's like daytime, and then it just switches to nighttime, and the dog hasn't moved. It's just still there in the window.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's one of those shots where you're like, oh, dogs are the fucking best.
Yeah.
Stupid dog, you haven't moved all day because you fucking love me so much.
That's right.
You love me so much, you're dumb. That's why we love you.
That's the kind of love you want.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Unconditional.
Yeah.
The next night, we get another dog dream. Ghost dog Bandit leads Indy upstairs, and Indy is sniffing around underneath a wardrobe, and he sees like a red bandana there. And he goes to nip at the bandana and bring it out, and a mucky hand reaches out from the shadows. Indy freaks out, and then someone starts coming up the stairs. Indy hides under the bed, because whatever this figure is, the muddy figure, but it's only Todd, and he's
wheezing.
Lays on the bed. Go lay down, buddy. Todd's got a bandage on his arm, like he's had an IV in there all day.
Yeah.
Indy's just trying to be sweet. He's like, get the fuck out of here, Indy. Hack wheeze.
And then I'm like, fuck you, dude. You, Roger Spottiswoode, fucking all these other motherfuckers. Fuck all you guys. Don't yell at the dog. Dog just wants to love you. Fucking Michael Blodgett, Daniel Petrie Jr., Jim Cash, Jack Epps Jr., Dennis Shryack. The dog just wants to fucking love you.
Is that the producers of Turner and Hooch?
Those are more screenwriters.
Oh, screenwriters.
Listen, Raymond Wagner, don't fucking talk to me about dog love, Adam Greenberg, with your cinematography.
Back to dog dreaming. Indy's at the graveyard, approached by this shade. Now, they're just showing this in the light now. It's sort of a black figure, often muddy or mucky, walking towards the dog, and then cut to muddy footprints leading out of the room that Indy is in. Thump, thump, thump. He heads out, checks downstairs, and this is when he sees that Todd has gotten up and is just dunk,
yeah, creepy,
smacking his head into the door. And
I don't know why.
Yeah, is the house haunted? I would ask you that.
I don't know.
Is the house
I don't know.
actually haunted? And this is a thing that I don't think is ever made very clear. And ultimately I was like, well, the dog doesn't understand it.
Yeah. I feel
but
like
then I get moments like this
keep
where I'm like, I
mentioning,
need an answer.
This place is cursed. Oh, everyone's died here. No one can live here more than 2 weeks except for Grandpa.
Yeah.
But, yeah, is the house haunted? I don't really know, because it could just be death is looming around waiting for fucking Todd to kick off to take him away. And that's what the dog's seeing. But then there's the weird video where Grandpa's talking about living in caves with dogs in the caveman days and how the dogs would protect the cavemen from the dark specters.
Maybe there's just a giant radon leak in the basement. Yeah. Everyone's getting poisoned and going crazy. This house is cursed, I tell you. It's like, no, it's just fucking radioactive.
You know, Turner and Hooch was edited by 5 people. 5 people. Come on. Get the fuck out of here. You know what movie's better than Turner and Hooch?
Canine.
All of them.
What about Old Yeller? Old Yeller better than Turner and Hooch?
Turner and Hooch pretends to be a comedy. Old Yeller, you know what it is, and you feel sad.
Yeah. When was the first time you saw Old Yeller? Have you ever seen Old Yeller?
I think I was pretty young. I was a kid. I saw it once, and I was like, I don't need to see that one again.
We watched it in school in 6th grade. Our 6th grade reading teacher.
I might have seen it in school.
Like, we're going to watch Old Yeller today.
Yeah.
Old Yeller.
That's kind of mean.
Tough. Not as mean as... See, also, when I was in 5th grade, we had to read Where the Red Fern Grows. You want to talk about that fucking traumatized, like... That was on the general school curriculum for everyone my age. So, like, just about everyone who's, like, around 45, that. Where the Red Fern Grows fucked us all up.
I'm not familiar where that red fern grows.
Yeah. It's about a kid who's grown up in, I think it's like Appalachia, and he's got 2 hunting dogs. Little Lamb
this already
and
sounds
Old
bad.
Dan. Yeah. And they hunt raccoons, chase them up trees, and then he shoots them, gets their pelts and all that stuff. But they encounter a mountain lion, and the mountain lion kills one of the dogs, and then the other dog dies of grief.
Jesus Christ.
I think Roger Spottiswoode directed the film adaptation.
I'm sure he did.
But somebody directed the film of it. You can find out who that is and curse them, too.
Let me see. Where the red fern grows.
Yeah. Right. Oh, boy.
I'm going to look it up.
But as Todd is smacking his head donk, 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 against the door, Indy licks his hand and kind of snaps him out of it. Huh? Well, while this is all happening, Todd's sister really wants to come visit him, and Todd's not having any of it.
Todd's sister's nice, and Todd's kind of being a douche about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Listen, man, you know you're fucking dying.
Let people help you. You know?
Yeah.
Your sister has appeared to be nothing but helpful during all of this. Oh, you're just going to treat me like a patient all the time. Well, yeah, you're barely able to make it up the stairs after your chemotherapy, dude. You just,
you're going to die, and your dog's going to have to fucking eat your corpse.
Yeah. But as Todd's going through this, Indy starts sniffing around the house again, goes into the garage. There's a good little tracking shot here, and he finds the chair that Grandpa died in. And Bandit is watching. And Indy is watching as the specter of Grandpa, I guess, fades into the chair, moans with a mouthful of blood, and you get a little shot of Indy peeing on the rug, and a corpse suddenly sits up behind the dog. It's like a mud-covered corpse.
Yeah. These are all kind of good scenes, but again, I don't really understand what's going on. Is he seeing ghosts in the house? Is it death? Is it both? Is there an evil presence in the area that's been there the whole time? Does it poison the family? Is that why everyone dies young of cancer or whatever, except for Grandpa, who lived to be old?
Honestly, a lot of these moments just feel kind of the same to me, too. Like, they don't push the story forward in any sort of different way. And again, it was an excellent short film, but now we're getting to a part of the movie where I feel like, okay, we've kind of seen all of this before, and it just keeps cycling over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, Indy's kind of disappeared. Todd goes looking for him, then eventually opens the basement door. He calls down there, Indy, you down there? And then checks behind the door. And no, there's Indy, all covered in mud and muck. Oh, shit, what happened, boy? Oh, come on, we gotta wash you off. Takes him into the bathroom, starts hosing him off in there. Come on, just stay still, shampooing
and
him.
fucking pukes up blood on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All over the dog. That was a disturbing shot, wasn't it?
It was a disturbing
They just took a spatula full of blood and just right on the dog's face. Ooh.
I felt bad for the dog because it was dog doesn't understand what's going on here.
No.
Why are you throwing fucking fake blood in his face?
I did too, because it felt like the dog's reaction in that moment was, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
You just threw that at my face. What's going on?
There's that other moment in the movie where the dog gets grabbed by the force, and you can see the dog get scared for a second because something grabbed it from behind.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you motherfucker.
I think that's him, actually, when he grabs it from behind, right? But he's on the bed behind it, and he sort of brings the dog close to
but
him.
it looked like it scared the dog.
It sure did, yeah.
Yeah. And
that's what I'm saying. They gave this dog an acting award. I think that's kind of bullshit. I'm just going to say it again.
And you know what's funny is when I saw they gave the dog an acting award, I was like, awesome, that's cool.
No.
I think that's neat. Yeah, good boy. It was before I'd seen the movie and before I knew about how they made the movie. So, yeah, you're right. The dog really wasn't acting.
No, it was just camera work. They just found artful ways to shoot their dog.
Yeah.
And the dog is charming. But Todd's at the doctor's office, and he's mad because the doctor's like, sorry, it's too late. Todd wants to do some clinical trials. Come on, I'll be your guinea pig. And the doctor's like...
And now, all of a sudden, Todd fucking cares.
Yeah.
Todd didn't give a shit 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose that is not an unusual story when confronted with the end of all things.
Sure.
And Indy looks at Todd and watches as Todd kind of transforms into the muck shadow right before his dog eyes. Sort of flashes over. You see Todd transposed with this muddy specter thing. Well, Todd's all going homeopathic. He's out in the woods looking for honeysuckle and all sorts of roots and remedies.
Things that can help him.
Yeah.
Too late, kid.
Surrounding himself with plants and greenery inside. And the house goes from looking like a real fucking pit to looking like one of those stores that sells tarot cards and crystals and stuff like that. You can pretty much smell the patchouli in the air of his house now.
Yeah, he's trying to feng shui the place a little bit.
He is.
Listen, man, that's not going to help.
It's during this time, too, after Indy has seen, Todd become the shade, the muck shadow or the muddy specter is becoming more present in the house. You're seeing it a lot more. And Todd breaks down at one point, just crying as Indy is looking at this shadow. And as Todd's crying, I think the dog sees the shade move past the foreground of the frame. And so the dog runs downstairs to check it out. And the closet door opens up. Indy sees an odd flash down there in the basement. And he hears the whistle. He hears Todd's whistle. And he looks down at the bottom of the stairs and he sees Todd's body laying down at the foot of the stairs. And the dog's looking at him, and then the body, as the lights flicker, suddenly gets up and charges up the stairs towards the dog.
Yeah.
Indy wakes up.
This was kind of a startling moment, too.
Yeah.
A little bit.
This and the hand reaching for the dog and the reflection of the eye are kind of the two best jump scares they have in this movie. And they're executed pretty well, actually.
They know how to make a good movie. Not like Dave Frankel, who directed Marley and Me. Written by Scott Frank, Don Roos, and John Rogan. Yeah, let's have a really charming movie about someone who has a puppy, and it's a love story, and it's about the man and his dog. The dog fucking dies in the end. Eat a dick.
I never saw. That's one I never saw. I never saw Marley and Me, but I do have friends who are like, it ruined me. That movie
you know who's
ruined
never
me.
going to see Marley and Me?
Marley and you.
No, Marley and me. Me. Yeah.
Well, as Todd scampers up the stairs real quick, Indy wakes up. You realize, it was a dream again. And this is when, because Indy's on the floor, that arm reaches behind him and drags him under the bed.
Yeah.
But it is Todd. Todd, I don't know, has fallen out of bed, but he is on the floor next to the bed, and he's holding the dog tight. Indy's a little bit freaked out. Todd's petting him, and as he's petting him, suddenly Todd's hand becomes the muck hand.
Yeah.
And Indy freaks out and bites it.
And I don't know why.
Yeah. Like, Todd's personality is changing because of the cancer and
or
making
he's
him
being
behave in certain ways.
Possessed by an evil force in the area that
Could
lives
be
in a
that
cave in
too.
the basement that nobody noticed.
Yeah, could be that too, with the cave in the basement. Yeah, we're about to get there.
Yeah.
Todd gets up. Ow, damn! Bit in the hand, moves to the other room, and he is accosted by the muck shadow, kind of off frame. Indy rushes to help, but the door closes. It locks him out. Oh no, what's happening to your owner there? What's happening to Todd? Bark, 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 bark. He's trapped in the room, but he notices the bathroom window is open, so he jumps out of the
Like a
second
good boy.
story. Boy, fearless.
Great boy.
Right into the flower bush, the peonies or whatever are underneath the window there. Right in there, and then comes shooting out. I wondered about this bit.
About stunt Indy? Yeah.
Was there
I wondered about it too.
a stunt dog, or did they just pitch him out the second floor window? I mean, low budget independent filmmaking.
You're in the bushes, right, honey?
You know who would have thrown the dog out the window, right?
Fucking Roger Spottis would. See how I worked that into a sentence? Yeah. Roger Spottis would. You're welcome, America. Everyone who's listening. Does the dog die? Yes, it does, and fuck you.
But not this dog. Indy runs off to the neighbor's house through the woods. And as soon as this dog started going through the woods towards the neighbor's house, I was like, uh-oh, because we know all the fox traps and shit are out.
Yeah, I could smell this one coming, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, sees the light of the house and then gets caught in a fox snare. Actually, all things considered, this was much gentler than I thought it was going to be. I thought this dog is about to get its leg snapped in a fox trap or something.
I found this scene to be very strange.
Confusing. Yeah.
Confusing because, yes, the dog is snared, the dog is snared, the dog is snared. Nope, the dog's back at the house, and the owner's mad. Yeah. I don't understand what happened.
What happened?
And honestly, we kind of mentioned it earlier about like how confusing this movie gets. Is it a haunted house? Is it death? Is it a curse in the area? Is it something that lives in the cave below the house that Grandpa knew about? Or is it just all the fact that the dog doesn't know what's going on, so therefore we're not supposed to know what's going on? That's where the movie fails.
Yeah, I think the last thing you said, like, because the dog doesn't understand, we kind of don't understand.
Yeah.
I do find that unsatisfying, though.
A little bit. This movie is missing its story. And because it took such a long time to make, I feel like they got to a point where they're like, we just have to finish this movie and release it.
Yeah.
We can't fuck around anymore. It doesn't matter if it doesn't 100% make sense. It doesn't matter if we don't show who saves the dog or how he saves the dog or why suddenly he's out looking for the dog. There's a lot of like in when we watched Alligator, you said that the movie just gets to the point.
It's abrupt.
I'm telling you about the pictures that are being developed as we speak, and here they arrive. You know, it's like that. But I feel like this movie has a lot of holes.
I was going to say, I kind of disagree a little bit because even though Alligator was abrupt, they did it.
They still connected the dots.
They stitched it together. This doesn't stitch it together. And he's put Indy into a doghouse. I guess he's thought, like, Indy can't stay put. He jumped out the window, so he's chained him to a doghouse outside.
So you're putting him outside?
Yeah.
That didn't make sense either.
Yeah. In the rain. Yeah, Todd, you're crazy.
At this point, where I'm watching the movie with my wife, another big dog fan. She goes, I don't think I like this movie. I said, yeah, I'm not sure either. Because we were starting to feel like the dog is getting the short end of the stick at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he puts him outside either. I mean, it seems like a discipline kind of thing. But anyway, I mean, the dog is going to disobey again.
Yeah.
Essentially, as Todd
because
goes
he's
back
a good
upstairs. Boy. Yeah. And we get some lightning flashes, and it's raining, and Todd is upstairs in the bathroom, puking up blood into the sink, not looking good at all.
With the evil specter looming over his shoulder.
Yes, and the generator that he had borrowed from the neighbor earlier on is kind of like sputtering, and the lights are flickering on and off. And Indy in the doghouse is there trying to figure out what's going on, and the muck hand erupts from the ground in the doghouse. Dog runs out of there like, what the fuck? And it's like a weird little sequence where the hand has got the chain and it's trying to drag Indy back into the doghouse, but the dog decides to run directly for it into the doghouse, topples the whole structure, breaks a hole through the back, and gets free. Indy off the leash. The chain kind of disappears for the moment right here as Indy is outside the house trying to figure out how he's going to get inside, but the storm cellar doors are open. Indy has heard a few things from the storm cellar throughout this movie, like a whimpering of a dog, and as he looks in the open storm cellar doors, he sees Bandit's skeleton, the dog with the red bandana.
Yeah, the dog that nobody bothered to look too hard for because it's right there.
Yes, you just open the doors and there's the skeleton. Yeah. And I will say, too, picked clean. Like, that skeleton didn't have a bit of fur or flesh or anything on it. Like,
this was obviously a Halloween Town skeleton.
Yes, Spirit Halloween special.
Yeah, with a little bit of latex on it and a little bit of paint. No offense to whoever made it, but that's kind of the feeling I got.
Yeah, again, indie filmmaking, they did what they could with what they had, and they did a pretty fucking good job. Yes, you can certainly pick apart the skeleton, but doesn't deter Indy from running inside. Down the stairs, he's in there. Todd is upstairs gasping. He hears a noise. Who's there? He's got a bunch of candles around again because he's going all holistic, and he's got all these candles around with the plants and the incense burning, and then the candles all start to blow out, and muddy footprints begin to appear. And for the first time really in the movie now, as he's sitting next to his bed, you see Todd's face more clearly, and he lifts a lantern to see who is that? What is that? And as an audience member, also, I was like, yes, what is that?
What is that?
Is that a fucking ghost, or what is happening right now?
Yeah.
But no, it's Indy. Oh, Indy, how did you get up here? Indy is whimpering a bit and nuzzles into Todd, and then hops up on the bed behind him because Todd's sitting on the floor, and this is when you see Todd's body behind Todd because Todd is dead. Yeah. Indy sees the muck shade appear behind Todd, and now the chain that was on Indy seems to be on Todd around his neck. He gets yanked out of the room, yanked through the other room, yanked down the stairs, around the corner, into the basement. And as Indy rushes to give chase, the doors shut to the basement. And so he rushes outside into the open storm cellar. And this is where you see the basement has this weird earthen portal in it. And I don't know if any of this is real or not. Is this a dream again of the dog, or?
Yeah, I don't 100% know either. It's weird.
Yeah.
But then Grandpa talked about the cave and the dog protecting the cavemen from the shadow people. And so made me think that this is real, but I'm not 100% sure. And why does the dog die in I Am Legend? Because that fucking pissed me off. You remember that? Do you remember fucking seeing I Am Legend and being like, oh, this is the coolest dog ever. And then the dog dies and you're like, fuck. And everyone in the audience is crying.
Yeah, that one in particular sucked. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that one. Fuck that whole movie, though.
Yeah, poor Sam.
Way to blow it again.
Yeah.
With I Am Legend. But Indy sees that weird earthen portal, and there's no time for love, Dr. Jones. He just rushes in there, and he drags Todd out. The muckshade approaches, kind of incorporeal. It's like fading in and out of existence and reaching for him. And then Todd gets covered in muck. You see it sort of like crawl up his hands and all over his body. And he says, "You're a good dog, but you can't save me. You gotta stay here. And Indy watches as Todd melts away into a skeleton like he just chose the wrong Holy Grail at the end of Last Crusade. He just all the skin. And I thought that was a terrible choice.
Yeah.
A lot of this movie,
was.
I was like, okay, this movie it's one note, and sometimes I don't know what's going on, but I'm in it for the ride. This is the one effect I was like, why did you do that? That one looked terrible. Like, you could have just had him fade away, or he could have turned into muck and just, melted or something. But the fact that he goes, all into a skeleton, and then... Yeah. I don't get that choice. I think it's a bad choice, and it didn't look great. I thought they could have done other things that would have looked better and maybe...
No, I agree. But it was not as upsetting as when fucking Corporal Edwards of the U.S. Army shoots fucking Two Socks.
Oh, fucking Two Socks. Yeah, that's Dances with Wolves. That fucking ruined me, yeah. Is it Corporal Edwards? Because I thought Spivey shot Two Socks.
Two Socks is killed by Corporal
Okay.
Edwards, I think.
Spivey is the one that uses his journal for toilet paper, I think. He's also a real son of a bitch in that movie.
Fuck those Army guys.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah. Two Socks is a loyal motherfucker.
Dude, fucking Two Socks. See, that's the difference. He put the work in with that. That story was told with that wolf.
Hell yeah.
He's writing in his journal about it. He's feeding it. He's, eventually befriends it. And he gets his name from fucking around with that wolf, playing around.
That's right.
We're calling you Dances with Wolves. Fucking awesome.
Then the fucking Civil War soldier assholes.
That movie is not without its problems, but the fucking wolf is tight. The wolf is great.
Hell yeah. We stand with a fist against Roger Spottiswoode.
And Corporal Edwards can go suck a dick.
That's right.
In the morning, we hear the storm cellar doors open, and Vera's voice crying. She sees Indy come out of the darkness. Mm-hmm. Oh, come on, Indy. And Indy
he's not sure he wants to go because he's a good boy.
And he hears a whistle from the dark in the basement, and he kind of gives a look.
What's whistling at him? Is it the fucking evil spirit trying to pull him in?
It's the whistle of his master, right? It's the whistle of Todd. But
but why is Todd's whistle going?
Yeah, he said, you gotta go. So Indy runs upstairs, and that's good boy.
Yeah.
Right there.
Which isn't bad, just doesn't quite hit the movie mark.
I get about half an hour into it, and I'm like, I got it. Mm-hmm. To beat this dead horse, like the one in Dances with Wolves.
Let's not talk about dead horses like The Ring, where it jumps off the back of the ferry and gets ground up.
And therein is the difference for me, because, I had nothing invested in that horse at all. Mm-hmm. I understand it's an animal. I don't want to see, animals necessarily get hurt, but, there was nothing about the horse in The Ring that I cared about. It was terrible when it happened.
It's terrible. It's terrible when it happens.
I'm not going to throw my popcorn down and storm out of the movie theater. I saw somebody talking about it with Good Boy, and the fact that there was literally a spike in Google. Does the dog die when this trailer this trailer dropped?
I remember looking it up.
It's because dogs are innocents, right?
Yeah.
The dogs are innocents. People, they might be a son of a bitch. They might be a terrible, evil person. You might be able to do some sort of moral equivocation or justify reasons why they should get it. But dog, for the most part, what did the dog do?
Yeah.
So, I get it. But I'm not so triggered by it that I have to, storm out. Oh, yeah. I'm feeling very triggered right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go find a safe space right now.
Maybe I do get a little triggered by animal deaths. Yeah. Maybe. But, whatever.
I mean, Jaws was a good boy too, right? He was just doing what sharks do.
I don't really care too much about Jaws, I guess. You're right.
What was it? Was it Rafaela de Laurentiis? Is that?
Oh, yeah.
When Jaws dies, nobody cries. When Kong dies, everybody cries.
Yeah.
That was a story from Tyler during our Bambi episode. And
it was, yeah.
If
you guys haven't listened to the Bambi episode because it's a shitty movie, you should listen to the Bambi episode because there's some funny stories that we tell in it.
And we were talking about animal cruelty. And that is about an animal getting some revenge.
Yeah, which is good.
Turning the tables.
Absolutely.
Like Turner and Hooch 2, The Revenge.
Oh, could you imagine if
Hooch is
Hooch,
back.
Hooch comes back from the dead? It's like a zombie dog, and it's just tearing apart everybody that worked on the movie.
Struck by lightning.
Yeah. Oh, that's the movie I'm going to make.
Rises from the grave, a French mastiff with a taste for blood.
Art, you need to draw Turner and Hooch 2 poster with the dog coming back from the dead.
You just see, like, the gate of a mansion with a big S on it. Like, creaks open. And then there'll be a doorbell, and you'll see Spottus Wood over the doorbell, and a dog's paw will reach out. Bing, bong, bing, bong.
That's
Roger
right.
Spottus Wood, like, what? What is this? Looking around, there's nothing there, and looks down at the mat.
Muddy paw print.
Muddy paw prints.
This is strange.
And there's just a big dog toy with a knife sticking in it and a note that says you.
Yeah. Totally.
Turner and Hooch 2. The Revenge.
That's good. Oh, shit. Well, I think we've spent enough time talking about dogs and how good they are and what have you.
This is another doggone episode. We did Howling and Wolf Man.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got Good Boy and Cujo.
Yeah.
A couple of dog-centric episodes here.
Yeah.
The dog dies in the Howling.
I mean, they're werewolves.
Yeah. Wolf Man, not even really a fucking werewolf, so fuck that. Cujo dog dies. Good boy dog lives. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a good mix. I just wanted to make sure we weren't trending too low on the Spottus Wood curve. You know what I'm saying?
He was an editor of Straw Dogs.
Oh, God.
Speaking of dogs.
Oh, he directed Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Get the fuck out. He's done a lot of mediocre things.
I wonder how many times he's killed the dog.
You son of a bitch.
That's what I'm saying. It's sort of like what he does in every script. He's like, I gotta find a place to kill the dog in here somewhere. It's like his little trademark, you know? Just give it that little Spottus Wood twist on there.
Yeah, the old Spottus Wood twist. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can hear a fucking letter coming from a lawyer.
Does Roger...
You want to know something really interesting about Roger Spottiswoode?
What's that?
Married to Holly Palance.
Oh, Holly Palance?
The nanny.
The Omen, right?
That's right.
Fran Drescher's the nanny. I mean, don't get him twisted. But listen, AI says based on available biographical information, there is no public record indicating that director Roger Spottiswoode owns a dog. So, I think therefore we can infer that Roger Spottiswoode hates dogs.
Yeah. You son
Tyler,
of a bitch.
Take us outside. Take us outside.
Take us outside, Tyler. We gotta go outside.
Outside?
Come on. We gotta go outside.
The head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
Well, that wraps up another episode of The Head, the Tail, the whole damn thing. Get outside, boys. Go on. Get. You know they have to go outside to take care of their business. Mike D. McCarthy and James Knight are outside pooping. I'm your announcer, Tyler Patton. We'll see you next time. And, hopefully no dogs will be harmed. Oh, it's going to be Misery and Send Help. Two fantastic films. I actually like both of those films. All right, we'll see you next time. Mike, I'm with you. You can show somebody get their face ripped off. That's fine. I don't care about people, but in films, just leave the dogs alone. I know, it's all fiction. But just leave the dogs alone.